happen. Something has to happen now. I hit the button.
Here we are to talk about professional wrestling.
Nobody knows the whole story, so I'll tell you.
How about you, Jason?
Oh, this is like a murder room. This is great.
Lots of black sex magicians out there, right?
And look down like, what the fuck?
Oh, we're gonna just do it this way and nobody's gonna stop us.
I want to show that a real champion has to do things for the community, for your people, for other women, you know?
In this business, what you sell is emotions. If you manage to get people invested, you did it.
That's rehearsed videotapes. It's time for another MMMshow.
Oh gosh, here we go. Welcome to another edition of Raw Doggin'? Nope, it's not that. I forgot Byron did this thing. I'm supposed to switch the freaking intro every week. I knew it was going to be something, but let's go. Let me try this the right way. Welcome to another edition of Mass Mats and Mayhem. I'm your host, Justin Outlaw Harvey. You can find me on social media at JustinHarvey75. You, in fact, can find the entire show on social media at MMMshow75. And we're joined today by a slew of interesting accents. Daniel, hi. How you doing? Daniel, you don't have an @ on your screen. You don't want people to know where to find you. You're going to have such outrageous opinions that you do not want people to be able to retort to you on your social media.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about Mystico, so I don't want people finding me or something.
Point taken. Love it. I'm with you. From across the pond, though you're not the only one today, it's at Meefloaf. How's it going, Meef?
Hello. Well, I've just come to dispel the rumor that all English accents are the same.
Right. Yeah, because we have an Australian on the show, according to you.
No, I let it go. I wasn't going to bring that up. I wasn't going to be mean to him.
Yet. You weren't going to be mean to him yet. Let's be clear about it. Over in the corner over there in his normal little spot, because for some reason the Lucha Central podcast logo just looks better next to Tony. It's not racism, I swear to God. It's at Tony Allen. Tony Allen, how's it going?
It's going. Ready to yeah, well, somebody here said that my voice went down when I say it's going. So it is going. It's a good Wednesday, I guess. The Boys, it's over. It's series finale. It was kind of meh. The show was great though.
That's your thing, The Voice, huh?
Yeah,
I'm
not
more
the
of an
boys.
America's Got Talent kind of guy.
Boys, the boys.
The Boys.
I thought
they
sing at first.
Not
Oh yeah, the Voice with the chairs and the people that.
No.
Say it again.
The Boys.
Anyway. Tom Jones.
The voice of
and we're joined today by one of our what's the word I'm looking for here? This guy from England that we know that also talks about wrestling sometimes. It's at Simon Miller 316. How's it going, Simon?
Good, thanks, man. If only I talked about wrestling sometimes, the key word being sometimes, I think I'd be a far sprightlier man. All I do is talk about wrestling. That's my
It's so daunting. It's so daunting. Yes, Rebecca, as you can tell, on the panel today is a whole lot of different sounding things.
I don't know what you mean. I don't talk like that, you know.
You watch The Voice. I don't know what The Voice is.
The Voice.
I don't know if you're saying The Voice or you're saying The Boys or what is this show? It's a combination. It's a singing show that is a subversive Garth Ennis cartoon, I guess.
Oh, it's not cartoon, but live action. Yeah.
Simon, we're slated to, according to the notes that I actually wrote today, we're slated to talk about this thing that you're doing on YouTube called Under the Mat. So my first question is, who is Matt and why do you want to be under him?
Nice. I like it. Right in there with the innuendo. I'm a big fan. Big fan of innuendo. The show.
I mean,
this
this entire show, though, like, just to be clear, you've made a YouTube show that is, in fact, about your penis. Is that correct?
That's right. Finally, all the comparisons to Johnny Sins, I was like, you know what? Screw it. Let's just go right in there. We'll still.
I don't know who will bring that up all the time when they see you.
I only asked that because of this. I'm going to show a quick clip from the show, but this is why I asked that. And then you can tell us what this thing actually is and how many bots you've employed to get it over.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can't take the mick out of that.
I actually pretend to be an X-Men one time in a comic.
Okay, wait, let me start.
Unfortunately, like you said, you don't have the biggest, ding dong, but you are the biggest dick. So yes.
Listen, that's a very good job.
The name Thunder Rosa. I came from Thunder Road. It was a place where I used to work at as a supervisor. It was a rehab facility for young kids from 13 to 18.
Yeah, I can't take the mick out of that.
I actually pretend to be an X-Men one time in a Comic-Con, and I dress up like Xavier. I put the whole thing, and I sat on the chair and everything.
Did you have a bald wig on?
Yeah,
you did?
I do. I have pictures. I went to see Pitbull here in Vegas.
So that's the other reason you did it. You thought I could take off the two bald people I know.
Yes.
Xavier.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, girls were hitting on me because I looked that good.
Fun stuff.
Lakers already? Oh god, yeah, 6 minutes. Okay.
Still trying to figure out what exactly. So this is an interview show, or because it didn't seem like you had questions. So
there's no question.
Explain to me what it is exactly you're doing and how it has gotten over. Because I've noticed that you, in 3 weeks, you monetized or whatever it was.
2.5 months. Yeah, 2.5 months.
Okay, 2.5 months.
No. So if I was going to describe it from a personal point of view, I basically had a YouTube midlife crisis. I've been on YouTube for years, and I just need to do something different. I needed to buy my motorbike. And years ago, it was like 2016. I used to do this when I worked in video games. It was the same deal. Everybody was doing video game interviews with developers, and I don't mean this disrespectful at all. I'm just talking about it from my vantage point. So boring. So boring. Everyone would just ask, is there multiplayer? When's the sequel coming out? And I was like, it's worthless. There is no, if we're all going to ask the same question, there's no worth. So we all started going in and asking dumb questions and acting like we all basically came up with characters. We made it pro wrestling. And I used to absolutely love doing it. Why I stopped, I don't know. So, I actually was already planning to do it this year. And then I saw that RJ City was stopping AEW, which is a very similar concept. And I thought, well, I'm taking that as a massive sign. The market has just opened. So it's just an interview show where, it's between two ferns for wrestling. If anyone has seen that show, that's how I describe it. But I go in there with a bunch of questions that are deliberately nonsensical. And I just tell the guests, just react to me like it's a real interview. And so far it's gone okay, with the wonderful extra that, and I say this with all the love in my heart, because most of you are brilliant. But there are a few stupid people on the internet that think it's real.
Excuse me.
So I get a double whammy of excellency when some people get, I can't believe you said that. It's like, it's not real. It's not real. But it's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's like, I worked you. I'll take that. So yes, it's a dumb, stupid interview show. Just because, hopefully, as long as people continue to be nice to me, you can make sure you get all your PR bits out, and then I will come in with my dumb questions, and hopefully we can engage the audience in a different way. And so far, so good. And I'm just really enjoying it. So, yeah. Well,
I have to say, I think you've done far better than RJ in the fact that you actually get to the PR bits. I have seen it. There's a reason why AEW got canceled, damn it. And I think it's because Tony Khan was like, you're using my backstage and you didn't even promote the match, RJ. Like, what happened there? It was just all one-liner.
But there's something wonderful to that as well. That's almost like a meta joke within the, RJ is the hero of the day. But yes, that's, I don't mind promoting people's stuff at all, because it's, again, a lot of the stuff I've done with AEW is for All In. I shall go to All In, so it's not like I'm not going to get it myself. But I thought, that's not, my content isn't, stereotypical interview guy. It's just not. I'm much more dumb, stupid, goofy guy. So I thought, well, let's bring these two worlds together, and as long as I can keep getting guests, maybe eventually people will get sick of me. I don't know. That we'll try and. Yeah, I tell everyone, people say, what's my goal? My goal is Cody Rhodes 2027. That's my goal. That's my manifestation goal.
I'll say this too. I am not going to lie to your face this time. I didn't know who several of these people were that you've already had on the show, and it didn't matter. It was still thoroughly entertaining, and I got to know who some of the people were. So to me, that says success. Like, obviously, Thunder Rosa, Paul White, there's some big gets that you've had or whatever, but like, you don't need a get for it to be an entertaining show. And I think that's part of the reason why you monetize so quickly is people are gravitating to it. And if like you get a couple of big names here or there and you pull some people in, but then I think they're going to stick around. It's a really fun format, and it's actually, I'm saying it's actually enjoyable, Simon. It's a fun product. We enjoy it. You've done well for yourself finally after all these years.
After all these years, finally found something. But no, I'm glad you said that because I started off with, I'll continue to do it as well, with a lot of Brit Rest guys who certainly have followings over here, but they don't have, worldwide followings. And that was, you just hit the nail on the head. My goal was, well, funny is funny. And if people watch one episode with Paul White and they just want more of that humor, maybe then they'll go click on one of the other people. They'll go, oh, it's the same show, basically. And then hopefully there's an extra side where you Google the wrestler and you find out about them as well. That is something that
we started that way too. I mean, like we announced Kevin Cross being signed to Lucha Underground on this show. He was literally 4 people in Las Vegas knew who he was at the time. But for us, it was like, we like this guy. This is fun. People should know who he is. It was the same with Thunder Rosa when she was first on here 10 years ago, right, Meef?
Yeah.
Like,
I was just going to say, like, first person to actually know who Kevin Cross was in the UK, I think. And but I think it might be his first UK fan. Hilarious.
It makes it more entertaining to a certain extent. Sometimes the big names are not the most interesting interviews because they've done 10,000. Everybody knows stuff about them already. I'd rather see the personality of some of these up and coming people that I don't know, especially from Brit Rest. So,
or the personality of the big star that you talk about. For example, with Paul White, we just talked about mashed potato and peas. Nobody asked about mashed potato and peas. I asked about mashed potato and peas. So
that's amazing too. And speaking of your penis, you had to be really intimidated being in the room with Paul White.
Of course, always. Or I didn't get around to it. I did have a penis joke that I didn't tell. I was like, it's just not the right time.
Oh, come on. What are you doing?
Drop it.
He would have loved it too. He is the Bob Saget of wrestling. Paul White has so many amazing dick jokes that you really should have gone there with him. And
he said he'll do a round 2. So I've got my questions whenever we do it down the line. So yeah.
I think you absolutely should go for it. And Paul White, for those who have not met him in person, nicest guy in the world, but also the most intimidating thing that you could ever imagine. Shaking his hand is the scariest feeling I've had since meeting Brock Lesnar. Just oh my god, because he's friendly. He's trying to be friendly, but he is actually a fucking giant.
Absolutely.
It's so weird.
But he was a good person to get this early on because he totally got it. I didn't even need to explain the concept. He was like, I get it. Don't worry about it. And he was
because he's genuinely a funny guy too. People don't realize it, and he has a dry wit, so it fits perfectly with what you do. It's amazing.
Exactly. So I think
the one that I enjoy the most, and I think it actually does not follow the format of the show, is Amira, right? Like she came in dressed as you, but then she had a mask on. She had a mask on that seemed to be like human leather. It was like when she came out, I was like, wait, what is this show about? Because I just put it on.
It was like the old Greg sketch. You just have to watch it and appreciate it because you can't. There's nothing you can explain to.
That kind of ties in. Like the show isn't fully formed yet. You'll see a lot of it is going to be, some of it's going to be planned, and that was more of a teaser to test it, but you'll see I've got all these ideas, and as long as I can actually start balancing the books a bit, it will all a lot of inspirations from other shows that have done similar stuff, and like, okay, we can do that. And Amira again totally gets it, so she pitched that to me and I was like 100% that's what we should do. And that was great. She's awesome.
I like that. I like the free format of it. And once you actually have one of us on there as a guest, we'll actually certify it as a bona fide program.
You're all anyone is welcome. My only rule is no one gets offended. That's it. It's all fun and games. Nothing is said seriously. Yeah, I had one person I don't think got the concept and thought we were being mean. It's like, no, this is not real. It's not real. It's not real.
No, this is
fake. So,
and even if we are being mean, toughen the fuck up. Let's go.
Right, and that's
Simon,
also true.
If you get one of these guys on, just ask them what their favorite crisp sandwich is.
Done. I'll write it down.
They'll look at you for 5 minutes.
All right. So we did bring Simon on here to actually just participate in our normal shenanigans, but let people know where they can see this whole thing and what you want people to know. Get your plugs in now, because we're going to start talking about the thing that we've already decided before the show there's way too much of these days, which is wrestling. We're going to actually talk about wrestling, but finish plugging this thing so people can find it.
Absolutely. It says Under the Mat show on YouTube, and that's probably the best place to go, because you get the fully formed interviews and you'll get all the shorts as well. However, it's 2026. Under the Mat on Instagram, Under the Mat on TikTok as well. I mean, listen, you're never going to run out of clips. I promise you that. Half my day is sat there making clips for this thing. And so far, yeah, genuinely, the feedback has been very humbling. I didn't expect everyone to be so nice about it. So I guarantee this. If you watch 3 clips, you'll laugh out loud once. That's the Simon Miller guarantee.
Look, like 3-to-1 ratio is not terrible.
Pretty good, right? And if you do laugh, you'll smirk throughout it, but I'll get you to laugh out loud once. And then make sure you subscribe, because again, we're in a numbers-based game here, and the further I can get to those milestones on other platforms, I don't have to continue to look at how much money I've spent on this thing and freak out.
Well, as soon as Paramount and/or Netflix finally buys Warner Brothers Discovery, I'm sure one of them will buy you too.
Done. I'm for sale. I'm 100% for sale.
100% for. Look, after you do a certain amount of this, it's like, if anybody gives me any money, I will do whatever they want.
It is funny as well, because I think this is important. I think people have to think this, but they assume, you just hit record and a video is made, it magically goes on the internet. And someday I want to sit down and actually go through the process. I think people will be like, oh my God, that's horrendous.
It is 100, bro. I did our clips personally recently. Like, we had an editor for a while, but he moved on to some other stuff. We got a newer one coming in. Hi, Andy, who's in the background somewhere over there. And hi, Arturo, wherever you are too. It was your birthday last week. Happy birthday, Arturo, who also created our amazing theme song. We love Arturo.
Wow.
But like, there was a gap. Tony was on a beach. I was doing all the clips myself.
Have you seen the photos? I can put them up again. If you I'm just saying.
Oh God.
Okay.
Yeah. So people don't realize, even with Opus clips and some of these other things, it's like Opus might generate an idea or a nugget, but they don't. Like, people think AI is going to take over. No, AI can't be a real tastemaker, guys. AI can think like some other tastemaker, but that tastemaker may have had bad taste. So, like, it can only use the information that's out there. But if you are a creative and smart person who has new information and new art and ideas to put out there, the robots can't do that yet. So, oh God, Rebecca, really? Yes. Was he on vacation?
Oh, well, yeah, it was on Costa
I'll bet you mention that.
Right, Cancun. I have photos, and I will put them out later on the show.
This
you don't have to go. Jesus.
All right. So we got to get to the big question. The big question this week. We talked about, Meef and I talked about a little bit on Raw Dogging this week. Yeah, give it time, Brian says. We talked about a little bit on Raw Dogging this week, but it's the big question of the week. It is the #1 topic in wrestling still 2 days later. So we're going to address it. We're going to get it both barrels right here. It's the Brock Lesnar question. Brock Lesnar.
Presented you by Face.
Yes, it's the Face big question. Sorry, let's give I love our sponsors, by the way. Our sponsors have been so good. And we'll talk about that shortly, because Father's Day is coming up, so you need our sponsors. But
Simon is on Face.
After leaving his boots and gloves in the ring, Brock Lesnar decided to show up in Greensboro, North Carolina, of all places, which is partially why I don't think this was pre-planned, because I can't imagine 3 months ago anybody was saying, yeah, and then we'll have this big surprise in Greensboro.
What do you mean?
It was a surprise.
It was a great surprise. I do want to get into that too, because it's part of what has been missing in wrestling and part of the criticism that people have had of WWE. It's what everyone was saying it about Royal Rumble. Everyone was saying it about Mania. Like there's been this lack of, moments, and yet we have guys like Triple H and even Tony Khan, and they're always making these big announcements that are supposed to surprise us. But in this internet day and age, keeping something a secret or actually surprising us is not easy. So yeah, let's do it in Greensboro. I guess. Okay. But we got to ask ourselves, what does this mean? First of all, how did we get here with Brock Lesnar coming back? What does it mean for Oba Femi? Why are we doing this now?
Contracts and lawsuits.
Maybe, or maybe not. I don't know. I want to hear Meef's opinion on this first, because Meef is our resident Raw dogger and always has such lovely things to say about our weekly Monday night wrestling show.
Christ.
Taking the gimmick of the show a little too far now.
Yeah.
But I mean, what did you think, Meef, in a otherwise mediocre landscape of Raw this week, to have this giant moment?
Okay, so it's been boring for a couple of weeks. Let's get that off the bat. It was nice to have a surprise, and the rest of the show was all the same as last week and the week before that, match for match, segment for segment. Obviously,
and you're not the only one to say that, by the way. I listened to Busted Open, and those guys thought the exact same thing. Raw has been stagnant repetition for a while.
Yeah.
You can't just move a segment from the back to put it at the front and go, oh, it's a new show, shifty, like they did with Seth Rollins and some guys in some hoods. Car crash. But Brock coming back, nice little magical, like happy, well, I say happy, but a surprise. But then it's just kind of like that. Oh, okay. So Oba's losing. They've got to sell some tickets for Clash at Italy because they're not selling, which is a surprise. So Simon, I will tell you this because I've said to these guys repeatedly: Europeans, especially the French, don't make them angry because the French will burn a place down. And basically, we if we feel like you are what's the phrase to use, not using spit, it's not nice, and we tend to act out on it. So you had the crowds in France last year, or even early this year, saying you've taken all our money. What else can you take? Because just out announcing things, and this Clash at Italy and the whole thing that's going on with TKO and the running of that company could. Internationally, it's not going to work so much as it might do in America, where it's the kind of go into your town, the thing you did with your mum and dad kind of thing. But yeah, it's just a whole cacophony of turgid rubbishness.
Okay, well, tell us how you really feel about it. I don't know. Leading into Clash in Italy, it does beg the question. The one thing that I really kind of am keying in on here that you're saying too is like, is this really TKO guys sitting around going, we've got to pop a number for Clash in Italy? Ticket sales are, I mean, this was what Ari Emanuel did when he did that whole John Cena turn. Rock shows up at Elimination Chamber thing, a year and a month ago or whatever, a couple months. And it's just like, maybe that really is all that's to it. Maybe it is like, hey, Brock's still under contract. We know he put his boots down, but we got to suck him back in. I don't know. Is that just what it is? What do you think, Tony Allen?
Yes.
Okay, great.
No, well, first let's. Okay, I did not watch Raw.
Okay, you didn't have.
I think
to.
I was actually. I think I actually was at doing, earning monies as
having a life.
The guy, the very evil, very nice person will say.
No, we're not talking about him. Yeah, we will.
I forgot about this part. Yeah, we're gonna talk about it. No, I didn't watch, and it was the only thing that popped on my feed, and it was the only thing that people were talking about, either on our chat or.
Yes, Sumit, of course you can ask us a question.
One.
Ask away, brother. We'll get you.
One question. So I guess in a way that is the only thing that it will bring any kind of pop or attention to Raw at this time, because nothing else it's making except for Danhausen, which was more like a Danhausen thing that the WWE. So on that side, yes, it's this is something that is good, but again, storyline wise, as Meefloaf said, is rubbish. Is that close?
Rubbish. That was good.
Rubbish.
Not rubbish. Not like wearing a robe.
It's rubbish. It's with the when you have a lot of Roberts in the house.
I mean, I've got other words for it if you want, Tony, but I don't know if
No, that's fine. That's fine. We need to monetize eventually in this fucking channel. But yeah, it diminishes whatever happened. But I don't think they are looking at things like that anymore. I don't think they care whatever happened a month and a half ago to whatever is going to happen in the next week. That's what they're thinking more. Like they're just thinking about the moment that will be on, because they will be flooded with internet interactions and reels and memes and all that stuff. And then they got other shows like the Monterrey Noche de los Grandes over here. Those are more like they don't even care what happens between different shows anymore, let alone what happened a month and a half ago. Even if it's like one of the greatest careers and he just passed the baton to somebody else, it doesn't matter anymore to these people. They just care about, we need to make this pay-per-view, sell tickets, and we need to have people watch on Netflix because that's what they paid us for. And if we don't make, I mean, they will probably bring Stone Cold Steve Austin. Please do it. Please do it.
But how long the wow effect will last? Like they cannot do that week by week.
That is the problem. That's what I'm saying. There's no substance to anything that they do anymore. It's just the flash. And then after that, nothing happens. It doesn't matter.
Cynical, but I get it.
Cynical? No, I'm just looking at the world as it is right now.
The truth.
I don't know if you
it's the scene.
Now you can hire somebody to curse a team and they lose by 22 points.
Like, look, man.
What? Oh, I'm sorry. Forget you're from Cleveland, bro.
We should have hired Danhausen to relegate Spurs.
Hey, what? No.
And when he says Spurs, he doesn't mean the San Antonio Spurs. He means the Tottenham Hotspurs.
Those are the only ones that matter right now.
Simon, how do you feel about this whole the why of Brock being back? We'll talk about where it's going in a minute here, but the why of Brock being back, how are you feeling about it?
Yeah, so I talked about this. I understand the surprise. I understand the big reaction in the arena. But I kind of goes what you guys have sort of said. I don't think this was the plan post WrestleMania. I think maybe probably something at SummerSlam, and then think something has changed in the interim. Just because what I have noticed is that they like to use Paul Heyman as their creative crutch now, right? So they need to get Bron Breakker back on Raw. Paul Heyman makes a magical phone call. We never found out who was on the other end of that phone. And then the Gunther thing, him moving to SmackDown, having this magical contract. Never explained why Paul Heyman had that kind of authority. Like, he owed Gunther a favor, but that doesn't mean you can all of a sudden run the company. I don't think that's how it works. And then, of course, this week, he's magically bringing Brock Lesnar back. And I love Adam Pearce. I think he's great at his job. And I think WWE struck gold with him. But I've never laughed so much with someone in a very serious voice saying, I filed retirement papers on his behalf. I've never heard that sentence. I've never heard that's retirement papers. What are you talking about? And I don't know. Listen, I get it. I do understand it. But I just think when you have something, for my money, that was as perfectly executed as the Oba Femi thing at WrestleMania, just don't play with it. You don't need to. Just let Oba Femi go on and kick it, do the Goldberg stuff. He kicks anybody's ass. He wins a championship. And then, sure, eventually he loses. You decide who that is. Probably don't use a cattle prod. So, I mean, that's ultimately how I always watch wrestling now. I ask myself the question, do I want to see Brock Lesnar beat Oba Femi and Clash in Italy? No, I don't. Now, listen, if Oba Femi beats him again, that would be great. But surely that has to be the end of Brock Lesnar, because even if we were going to get to a point at SummerSlam and Gunther was going to call him out, it'd be like, why, bro? He just lost twice. What worth do you get out of beating that guy now? He should have retired. He was toast right in terms of the storyline. So I hope they have a better plan than that, and I hope that they can show it. Listen, in terms of watching, it's fun. You get the adrenaline rush. But yeah, when that kind of calmed down, I was like, I don't really see how this is going to better what you've already done at WrestleMania. And I thought what WWE did at WrestleMania was fantastic with Oba Femi. So yeah, it wasn't for me. It just wasn't. It was. I just think there's something else that we could have done, especially because I do think WWE's fallen into a pattern of just, oh, that worked 2 years ago, so we'll do that again. Well, that worked 3 months ago, so we'll do it again. I think even though it was, I don't say it was all over the place, but I think they were so desperate to have a good match that kind of, actually made me enjoy the match more. But the Ricky Saints Carmella Hayes match from SmackDown was some of the most fun I've had watching WWE in months because it was just new. I was like, great, it's Ricky Saints and Carmella Hayes.
And I've said this too. I said this a couple of weeks ago also, Simon, of like, I hate the whole contract thing and asking people to take pay cuts and this, that, and the other thing. But at the same time, I'm not going to complain about the new faces and some of the fresh storylines and some of the call-ups because, you know, a lot of people have said like, dude, why are you leaving NXT so glorious with all this abundance of talent when the main shows have been mediocre? Like, just gut NXT. It pays you less money. You don't have these huge deals with these mega companies. You have like a CW deal. Like, CW is going to take what they can get. I'm sorry. You have to gut NXT and call those people up. It's more exciting. We need them. And they did. And great. But at the same time, what they've done to some of the veterans, maybe not so. Okay, Sumit, I'm going to answer your question. Okay. No, we're going to make Simon answer your question because this is part of the hazing of being on this show. Simon, I don't even know if I can understand the question, Sumit. Simon, I'm going to let you interpret and read and answer this question and see what you can do.
Yeah, thanks for the question. Appreciate it. If you get angry, but you can't show that on camera or in front of known one like children, what's your reaction? How you do? I think that's a haiku. It's an elongated haiku, but I think it may be a haiku. If you get angry, but you can't show that on camera in front of your children, what's your, like, I suppose what you're saying, if you don't want to get angry in front of your child or your camera, then no, you shouldn't. Any kind of sort of over the top reaction should be by yourself. And if you are obviously presenting yourself to a child who needs to be protected, or you're in a public forum and you don't want to make yourself look like a moron, of course you have to be sensible and smart and not over the top. So it's smart. I agree. Yes, let's not get carried away with our reactions.
I'll say this, and I have a little bit of the Karrion Kross issue where I'm the nicest guy in the world until that 98th percentile moment where I'm not. And then I'm scary as shit. But the thing you have to understand about anger is anger can be useful in the fact that fear can be useful, because fear is what taught us not to walk off of cliffs blindly when we were cavemen. You know, fear is what taught us not to eat the poison berries off the tree and to pick the apples and the fruits that didn't kill us. Like, there's something to be said for fear. So every now and then, putting the fear of God in a child or an opponent or an adversary or somebody who's not giving you a pay raise, but you have to accept that if you are the thing that is putting fear into something else, any other creature on this planet, you may suffer repercussions from that. If you scare a wolf because you yell at the wolf or whatever, he may come back with a pack of wolves and kill you. You just have to accept that part of anger. So if you are angry, something has upset you, and you need to put the fear of God into some other element that is on this planet, you just have to accept the responsibility for having done that after the fact. That's it. That's my feeling about anger. And if that doesn't answer your question, and for a wrestler, it's a job, man. You're out there doing a job. Like, if it's part of your job to do that, great. If not, you're on, see, there you go, Sumit.
Can I add to this?
I didn't let you down.
I'll add to this. And if you're a wrestling fan in Mexico, don't climb in the ring when Cinta de Oro's in there.
Oh, man.
Because he will pop you.
Again, you have to accept responsibility for your actions. And I think, as much as I do believe the world needs to be a nicer place, and I love my kids' generation and all the openness and the heartfelt feelings that they have, but at the same time, you have to understand a little bit of the nature of aggressiveness and the downside of passivity. Sometimes you have to assert yourself and cause things to happen. The entire universe is entropic. It is designed to fall apart unless you exert force to create new things. That's just science. That's the way the world works. You have to proactively create to stop entropy, period. And you got to keep that in mind. And I know that's very philosophical for a wrestling show in the afternoon, guys.
Jesus.
But it is so real. And this younger generation, I think, is too passively waiting for things to come to them. And it's like, that's just going to make things fall apart, guys. You have to actively go out there and get it. Simon Miller would not have the views that he has on Under the Mat if he hadn't busted his ass making that show, put his own money into it, filmed it, edited it, got people to watch it. You can't just sit around. It's not just going to happen. There's a lot of wrestlers out there that, you know, they go to the PC now. They're these blue chip athletes and they think that shit's just going to happen for them. That's not the way it works, guys. Tyra May Steele, blue chip athlete, gone. Waiting for it to happen. That's all I heard was she was sitting around waiting for it to happen. No, girl, make it happen. Sorry about your damn luck. Bye. Wrestling doesn't need you. Gable Steveson, same thing. Bye. Go fight MMA. Go actually get hit in the face. You had a chance to do it the easy way, bro, but you didn't assert yourself. Sorry. Bye. Get out. Go away. That's the way. That's the real way of the world. And it's not that I don't like those people. They could have been great superstars. They're not. They were, and their anger didn't serve them the right way at all because they were just angry that it wasn't handed to them. They weren't proactively putting that into energy moving forward. There's something to it. All right. I'm going to go back to Brock Lesnar for a minute because now it's the Oba Femi of it all. Where the hell do you go with Oba Femi now that you have injected Brock back into it? We can question having done it at any point in time. Like, okay, why did TKO? Who knows why TKO does things? There's random as Vince McMahon before them and the Tony Khan over here and Carlos Silver. Like, you know, it's crazy, and we'll talk about this a little later too. Like Billy Corgan's the only mind in wrestling that I understand right now, and he still has issues. I don't understand what a lot of these guys are thinking at times. But moving forward, we've got this Oba Femi thing now. It's huge. He's the Black Hulk Hogan. Like, he is getting over on a take your vitamins, say your prayers kind of level that we have not seen in a long time, and it could be the biggest thing in wrestling in 20 years. The question is, now that we brought Brock back, where do you go from here? What do we do? Daniel, what do we do?
I think that Oba is going to retire Brock, but before that, maybe Oba will have like a little storyline with Gunther to see who will retire Brock. That's what I was trying to figure out what happened there. And also I was thinking that maybe Brock came back with some kind of a deal that, I don't know, maybe Brock won't retire him because allegedly he didn't want that.
We'll see. I mean, now my question now is, do you want any of that?
Isn't Cody and Gunther main eventing Clash in Italy?
Yeah. So all of them will be there.
Which, okay, I think that's interesting. That's a little bit of what is actually, I think, saved AEW recently, which is like, let's make you feel like there are a lot of people in the top mix. Mm-hmm. Let's have all these people challenging MJF. Let's have Darby Allin wrestling a guy that could beat him every single week. And it's part of what's kept AEW exciting. And it's part of what's wrong with WWE. Like, it did work for Roman to hold the belt for a long time. Also, he was a heel champion at the time, and that worked because it just aggravated you and made you love all these other guys on the roster so much more because you wanted to see something happen there. With Cody, it doesn't work because then all of a sudden you want to see heels beat him if he holds the belt for too long. It looks like entitlement. It's the reason why Charlotte Flair took so much crap when she came back, because people have this greatness hate after a certain point in time where they feel like, and it's Vince's fault that he did this to us with John Cena and with Roman previously, pushing the baby face down people's throats doesn't work the same as pushing the heel down people's throats. It makes the people want to rebel against it. So, yes, I agree that if we get a mix of things where all of a sudden maybe Gunther takes the belt and then Brock Lesnar wants one more run and then Oba Femi wants to take this guy out and then Cody Rhodes is still in there. So, like, if you have a mix where you have more people involved, maybe all of this does become more interesting and doesn't hurt Oba Femi as much. Because I still harken back to right after WrestleMania, where all of a sudden we get this post show, and I don't know that this was intended at all either, but Oba Femi saying, maybe it's Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns saying, hey, look, youngster, like we'll see how you do, and then at the end of the summer, maybe we'll talk. Like, if you're still feeling froggy, does that mean we could be like, part of the way I was seeing it is, maybe Brock gets this win, and then there's a pay-per-view in between now and SummerSlam too. Maybe then Oba wins the best of 3, and then Brock does move on to Gunther, and it is still Gunther in Minnesota the way that it was always intended to be. I can't imagine that TKO would be so short-sighted as to bring him back and not go the distance. Like, I don't think that this is just about Oba Femi, or maybe it is because Brock does whatever the hell Brock wants to do. I don't know. Tony, figure it out for me. What are you doing with Oba Femi at this point? Like, does it work for you? Oh, Tony's over there doing something else.
No, I'm good. I don't know, man. This whole thing, like, I don't know.
Does it hurt Oba Femi?
No, what I mean is, like, going back to what Daniel said. That's like great fantasy booking there, but I don't know. I think that Oba. I think they should have. I think I said this when we came back from WrestleMania, and I was like, let's go to Roman Reigns. And I don't think nobody said, like, yeah, let's do that. Now we are back to square one because now they put him back to do his contract or whatever he wanted. I don't understand what the situation is. Like, this is confusing as fuck. Clash in Italy, I don't care. I think only like 5 people care in Europe. It's gonna have no consequence in the storylines. So this is just like one of those pay-per-views they had before that was like a stopover pay-per-view, and now it's like a house show with Netflix. And in the way, we got now an Oba Femi Brock Lesnar match because that's the only thing that will sell it. But I don't know. I'm just kind of not caring that much about this.
See, and that's the important thing. Like, if they can't make you care, then what have they done? Simon, where do we go with Oba?
Well, this is the issue, because I like Daniel's idea as well. But the problem is, if it all leads to either a Gunther or Oba wanting to retire Brock, that doesn't mean anything now because he already retired.
Right.
It's just like, I love the idea. Like, I do. I really think it's a really, really good idea. And I think it allows Brock to go out in a way where he feels like a big superstar, but they already did it. That's the problem. As soon as you do it once, you can't do it again without having the same magnitude to it because the law of diminishing returns. I think ultimately, look, does it actually matter if Oba Femi loses to Brock in a 2026 world? No, because everyone moves on so fast, right? If Clash in Italy is on a Saturday and you get Raw on Monday and then something big happens on there, people just start talking about it. So as long as, what are we in? May, so 7-8 months of the year left, whatever it is. As long as Oba Femi has beaten at least another, top. I really think it's a bad idea to take. I don't think it matters if somebody loses this early, but I think right now it's just not. You feel these things, right? I don't think it's the right time for Oba to lose to anybody. But as long as he has beaten, it could be anyone, a Randy Orton, a Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, a Randy Orton, anyone you would deem a proper, they're up here and you can't touch them. As long as he's beaten another one of those before the end of the year, I think it will be fine. And I really do think that at next year's WrestleMania, he should be walking, if not earlier, to be honest. But at least by that point, he should be walking out with a world championship. So, again,
which is still remarkably fast.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's okay. That's okay. You can have that, happen. I mean, even if it's like too soon for some people, you can build him afterwards. Like, just give him the title and make him huge, and then after that you can create something. But just going back to the same thing, I don't feel that's positive. I think they doing Brock and Nova again, it's actually a negative that will reflect later on, because instead of building something new, which he already did when he put his, he retired. Let's fine. You don't want him to get retired like that, and you wanted him to keep doing stuff or whatever, and you wanted a couple of more dates out of him before he left, or all that stuff. It's fine, but why not just move Oba forward instead of just putting him back to WrestleMania? That is the thing. Oh my God, it's like thunder and lightning right now in my house. It's crazy.
Hang on, Tony. You know how your power is.
Anger Papa Shango.
TKO is controlling the weather, so I don't say this. No, it's seriously. Didn't I mean, in the terminology, Brock pushed Oba forward, and now it seems that we are just like putting the brakes on. And it was, I think it was a couple of weeks back that I was doing road dogging with you guys, and I said, this seems like they have nothing. They just had one guy, and your opponent already in the ring, and then just like kill him for like, and then he had the Garzas. He killed the Mexicans, right? He killed 2 Mexicans on the show and got away with it. So I'm kidding. No. And then nothing. So that's the problem. We are freezing over because we need to accommodate for a contract that did not go the way they wanted to.
Mm-hmm. That's the problematic. Meefloaf, you look flabbergasted by all of it.
Oh no, it's TKO, it's WWE, just absolute short-sighted. They care about clicks and short view formatting now. Everything's just about a moment, and like Simon said, you move on Monday. Monday negates anything that happened on Saturday, because if it's rubbish and people won't care so much, so that if you do something sparkly on Monday, new thing. With Oba, it was kind of, you don't want to see the Goldberg run to a degree, but like you got to strike while the iron's hot, otherwise you end up what they've done repeatedly over the years, whether it be Triple H or Vince. You have something magical and you just sit on your thumb on it, and it soon dissipates. And then what you do is you get to the point where you haven't put that person on TV for 9 months, and then you fire them because of your inability to do anything with them. And I might be talking about the LWO. So I might be talking about El Hijo del Fantasma. I don't know.
You might be.
But I might see patterns in things, because I might be a bit.
Can I ask a serious question? But how is Fantasma doing? Have you talked to him? Is he okay? Is our boy hanging in there?
I've left him alone a little bit. He's posted some good messaging though. He seems to be doing well. He's healing well. He had his muscles out the other day.
Well, I mean, that's the most important thing. Like his health first and foremost. Yeah. Like screw TKO and whatever their contract is. Like he made some money, so I don't feel like super awful for the guy. But at the same time, like he's a homie, and his health was already an issue, and then he gets fired in the middle of it. What is so crazy ridiculous? Mm-hmm. It's just ridiculous.
Back to the point before this guy's question. I am a burn everything to the ground guy, so yeah. I'm not allowed in the States.
He's a meefarkist. Whatever that is. Okay, well, I mean, look, it's the story of the week. I will say this in general. The one thing that I am absolutely ecstatic about when it comes to the Brock Lesnar situation is that I didn't know.
Yeah.
And I'm here to tell you, I hear a lot of things. And I know, I could tell you about Bully Ray's comments about, us podcasters that hear things and this, that, and the other thing, and what the top guys think about stuff like that. But it's realistic. Like, man, I hear a bunch of stuff. And there are shills that spread a bunch of things out there, and it is very, very difficult to keep things under wraps these days. And somehow this giant human being, nobody knew. Nobody knew. Nobody on the roster knew. The writers didn't know. Nobody knew that Brock was there. Heyman knew. Triple H knew. Brock knew. And I think they clued some of the production people in at the last minute so that they didn't botch the segment and go to commercial or treat it like Montez Ford doing a corner dive and just get the completely wrong camera. Yeah, you loved that, didn't you? Put that on the WWE producer guy thing. Now I want you to put the camera directly next to the ring post and completely miss the shot.
I liked his idea of just laying on the ground and following it as it went over him. That seemed to...
But yes, so kudos to WWE. I don't know why they picked now other than like, and realistically, we just heard Brock last week talking about his diverticulitis again and how like, he was down. He was fine with leaving. He's ready to leave. He doesn't, he's worried about his own health. He could die in the ring. Like he's saying all of these things recently. And it's just like, oh yeah, Brock's really done. And then to have him come back in Greensboro, I just can't think this was the original plan. I have to think that like they finally came to terms on something, whatever that may be. And Brock is great at this stuff. Like we heard that he got more money to lay down for Oba in the first place. And, him putting his boots in the ring, I don't think anybody at WWE knew about it. I don't think that's in storyline. It's not kayfabe. I think he really did that on his own. And it forced WWE's hand. So Brock wins. Either he gets the retirement exactly the way he wants on his terms, or they have to come back to him and give him more of what he wants to stick around. The guy is a genius. And it just tells you
how stupid they are, though. Because they gave him Oba before they wanted to do this angle with Gunther to retire him. And it's like, but if he loses to Oba, he's been replaced as the top monster anyway. So when Gunther defeats him, it's like defeating Godzilla with half his arms and legs missing. It's like the Black Knight in Monty Python.
Brock doesn't want Gunther to be the guy. Maybe Brock doesn't see it in Gunther. We don't know.
But
this is one of the things I
their
like.
storyline and the way they do things. They just seem to like not think. Just not when they beat someone, they don't think the implications down the road of how when you're trying to set up another match to then they're trying to make Gunther. But you've already killed the monster that you were going to feed to him to make him. So it's like
part of what I had heard too was that Brock changed the script because he found out how Triple H wanted him to lose to Gunther, and he wasn't thrilled with that idea. So maybe this is also just a negotiating technique to get a different booking. Or maybe he was just like, nah, I don't care. It's not like Brock needs money. He's got his farm. He's got Sable. He's got his kids that all look very frightening like him. God, his daughter is
terrifying.
Great athlete, but also, man, didn't get one bit of Sable's genes. Sorry, girl. But, it's an interesting thing. But I love when I can actually be surprised about wrestling. And I do have to give it to them on that because we're sitting here and I'm feeling like, oh my God, why did Meef create this post-Raw show that I have to do where I'm forced to watch this episode of Raw where nothing is happening? And then that happened and I'm like, okay, they got me. And I'm a hard one to get. I get more information than most people, so I'm a hard one to get. And if you can get me, you have done something. I like that. All right, you guys know what I have to do. Oh yeah, Mark Henry's retirement, one of the best heel retirement gimmicks ever. He's got the jacket on and it's just great. It was
so jacket.
It was the master stroke of Mark Henry's career. I don't even know if Mark Henry would be the level superstar he is if he hadn't had that moment. Like as strong and cool as he was. Go ahead.
You need that moment, don't you, in WWE? You always have to have that one moment to get to that echelon. And that was his. And he smashed it. Like you couldn't have done it better. That's why I always love that segment because it was. How would you change it? You wouldn't. You
can't. It's just one of those things where it was like you can tell Vince just had this master idea, and everybody was like, I don't know, and everyone's like, and even Mark is probably like, Vince, I'm not a very good actor. I don't know if I can. If you say so, boss, but okay, I don't know. Like if you know Mark Henry was probably the most skeptical, but just amiable to do whatever. Like, all right, I'll impregnate a woman with a hand. I'll do a fake retirement.
Never forget.
But you know,
I like it. We always focus on the hand, but we're not going to talk about it here. There's way worse Mark Henry late night storylines that poor man was put in. Some of the things I have to say to fake therapists were, yes. Let's just move on.
Exactly. Okay, you know what I got to do, guys.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Tony knew what I had to do. I had to do this. I had to bring it out.
Something like this. Like
I got to get it to. Oh, there's the light. Oh, it's the Ohm face. I'm going to be sincere about our sponsor because this month's product, the sunscreen, it's genuinely one of the ones that I used before they were our sponsor, and I love it. It's great. It keeps your skin from doing that normal weird greasy sunscreen feeling thing, and it's actually healthy for your skin. And I actually use this product, and I'm really happy to have our sponsor Ownface because moving into Father's Day, I want you guys to all use our code. It's MMM20. I'm not reading off the sheet or anything right now. This is from the heart. I love their products, guys, and if you're my kids, and I hope my kids are listening, can you just buy me some Ownface stuff for Father's Day this year? Quit messing around with the pajama. I have a stack of pajama bottoms. I get it, guys. It's kitschy. It's funny. Give dad pajama pants every year. We gave my dad soap on a rope. It was horrifying. Why are we doing these things to our fathers? Give me something I can actually use this year, please. Give me the Ownface. Give me the SPF 30. And I'll read the piece of paper and say all of the things that I'm supposed to contractually say, but I want you guys to know that I genuinely like our sponsors. I genuinely use this stuff. I've got all of the facial products on right now. I've got layers 1, 2, 3, and 4. The face wash, the toner, the anti-aging, and the moisturizer all on my face today. I'm looking young. I'm 51 fucking years old, guys. I look as young as any of these guys on this panel. So the stuff works. I believe in it, and I just want you to know that. And they're a great sponsor. We don't make millions of dollars off of them. We make a few pennies here and there. It helps cover some of the costs of doing a weekly show here. So please go support them. They support us, and the products are great. Let me read the contractually obligated portions of this because I like doing the voice. I like doing the radio voice. Ownface offers best-in-class skin, hair, and body care solutions for men. Powered by K-Beauty Technology, HF products are 100% vegan, Leaping Bunny certified cruelty-free, and crafted with clean, skin-friendly ingredients. For a limited time, add our promo code MMM20, that's MMM20, to get 20% off and, most importantly, free shipping in the coastal United States. Elevate your grooming routine and experience the HF difference today. All right.
And as the third whitest person in this panel, use the block.
Me?
Use it.
I don't know. I will say me, Simon, then me.
As in you're the palest.
No.
Paler than Simon.
He went to Cancun. He's not pale anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I went to your lighting is
look
doing
like
your
this.
head.
I still look like this after I went to Cancun.
No,
all right, guys.
They are very good products. Very good products.
We're gonna do a thing. We're gonna do hot takes and sausage. Bring it hot. Bring it spicy.
Wait. I know. We have to finish soon because Simon's gonna need like a big cup of coffee. A cuppa.
That's not a 10.
We need to talk about the Big Foley announcement because it just broke right now. So
we can talk about that. We had a question about it earlier too.
Yeah. So I don't know. My question is, I have my own ideas, but is this super beneficial to AEW? Right now, as far as we know, he's only gonna do like a show with Renee. So that means
a pre-show thing.
A pre-show thing. So that means that he's gonna get thrown out of a cell by John Moxley, and then Darby Allin is gonna save him. it's that idea you were floating around. You know that you always said this, Justin, that there is no on-camera authority in AEW.
Correct.
But then that will make it more like WWE, which is something that Bear, which I will not, talk shit about it because he's not here to defend himself. But there's something that he said that's not what they need. They said that that AEW needs to stay AEW and not be more WWE, even though people are flocking from WWE because they seem like
I get it. Look, I don't think that Mick Foley is going to be in that position, but that's unfortunate. I don't think Tony Khan can write that authority figure position, so I don't know if I want to see it. I just, however, know as a writer myself that you need a certain level of antagonist that can cause things to happen that is not one wrestler to another. Because if it's just always one wrestler to another, basically that means your storyline is always this tough guy in the locker room, Mid-South, old school approach of I'm tougher than you are. And we don't have the backstage segments even like back then to support it. You don't have the Mean Gene Okerlund segments and the people pushing it forward. We just have, Renee doing these interviews in the back and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I think AEW's been doing a really good job with their style, but there are reasons for certain things that are cliches in wrestling. There are reasons why you have baby faces and heels. There are reasons why you have authority figures and they work. Like, it's worked for a long time. And even in the old days, they didn't always do it, but every now and then the promoter would come out and they would make the match. Tony phoning it in to Tony Schiavone and Tony Schiavone just saying, yeah, I've just got word from TK that the match has been made, blah, blah, blah. Okay, that works in the moment, but what it doesn't do, it doesn't work for the package. And I've noticed that we go into some of these feuds and we don't know where it started. We don't get that catalyst moment. We don't get the, it's official Adam Pearce kind of thing, which I get it. It's lame to a certain extent. And we've had a million of these people. Paige was one of these people at one point in time. Daria was one of these people. Teddy Long, Mick Foley himself has been this person. But Mick Foley, if you were going to really use him the right way in AEW, if someone in AEW could write it, should be the commissioner of AEW. He should be an authority figure that can every now and then step in, be a babyface, and say, I've got a little bit of pull in this place. I'm making the match. Or I'm setting this stipulation. Like, these guys setting their own stipulations is a stretch sometimes, dude. It's such a stretch. You really need some of this outside stuff, and it needs to be in the storyline. It's part of what AEW is lacking. And Mick Foley had his political disagreements with WWE, walked away, and I heard that they came to a good agreement that worked for everybody, or like they still get to do his merch for a certain amount of time or something, and he gets to walk away clean and this, that, and the other thing. Like, everyone agreed that Mick can go away and it's fine. And they're all happier for it. Mick doesn't like their politics. They don't want him out there representing them and saying things against that. So they're done. And AEW is a great place for him, And Tony Khan has recently found Jesus and said all sorts of things where he wants people to politically have their own viewpoints, and he doesn't necessarily support or disagree with any of them. So Mick Foley fits in great. However, what are we doing? We're putting him on a pre-show? He's going to be another commentator like D-Bry? Like, what is this? This is not a good use of Mick Foley. We brought Ric Flair in to sell his energy drink? Why are we paying Tony? Why are you paying these guys this money to not serve your product? Put him in a storyline. Do something with him. I don't know.
I'll do something for him.
I'm for hire as well.
If he needs me to swear at people, I'm fantastic at swearing at people. If you need someone to talk about how bad Fulham are as a football club, perfect.
What's wrong with Fulham?
I
forget it.
No, why? No, stop, move on. Simon, what do you think?
They have picnics. That's all you need to know. The fans have picnics in the stadium.
because they have a park next. Never mind, I'm not gonna engage you. Simon, how are you feeling about Mick Foley of all things?
I like it. I always go based on my own feeling. And as soon as I saw the graphic, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And I want to see what they're going to do. Maybe it's a one-off. Maybe it's a trial. Maybe it does lead somewhere. I know MJF had some choice comments from Mick Foley on the Ariel Helwani show the other day, so I'm sure he had a heads up about what was happening. But I still think we live in a world, and you see it all of the time, where these names from yesteryear, especially of that era, do carry massive weight given what wrestling was at the time. And yeah, the more people that can jump ship and make things more interesting. And again, you need to see what role he's going to fill. Maybe it's just going to be, I'm here, I'm with Renee. Again, it's some name value. Maybe a few people do go, oh, that's interesting. I like Mick Foley. I'll go watch AEW, because I think people forget that. I still know, some of my friends message me that are Super Lapse wrestling fans, even sort of recently they messaged going, oh, Simon, what's this AEW thing? Because they're completely out of the loop. Like, you forget when you're super in the loop that you just know everything. My friends don't know. They just see clips of Roman Reigns every now on social media because they don't watch it. They just scroll. They go, I know what Roman Reigns is. And then every now and then something will grab them. They're like, oh, I don't know what this is. And it happens with TNA a little bit, but it is mostly AEW just because they have a much bigger presence. Therefore, they're much more likely to get ahead of them. So listen, I'll check my phone when I'm done. And maybe one of them's messaging me going, well, I love Mick Foley. I just, to me, it goes back to what we were saying earlier, although from a very different perspective. It's not fresh talent wrestling each other, but it's a very notable WWE guy in an AEW setting, and that still gets me excited. And that's one of my favorite things about the competition. And also, I love Mick Foley. I think he's great. So yes, I mean, I can't believe, and this is the worst thing I'll ever say, but I still mean it given the way that I approach wrestling, even if the payoff is just a big argument between Mick Foley and RJ City because Mick Foley stole his gig. I would be very happy. I would be very happy with it. Yes, I would like that. So I like it. And again, to me, it doesn't feel like something that can go wrong, because even if it's just a trial, then they do more, then they can sort of fit him in wherever they felt they can fit him in. I can't believe that something's not going to happen though on a Dynamite, just because all of a sudden you've got MJF taking shots at Mick Foley, and maybe it's just a clever PR stunt, and MJF is great at that. But no, it will make me, I mean, I don't always watch pre-shows, but this will definitely, even after the fact, make me go, well, let me see what he did and let me see how he was allowed to. Because again, the last time Mick Foley did this, he was yelled at by Vince McMahon so much he quit commentary. It's like, screw this.
Right. It's like, screw this. I can't do it. Why are you in my ear? Why are you in my ear?
That is not going to happen here. So, and of course, this is 15 years removed since then or whatever.
I mean, it could. And if you listen to what Excalibur says about having Tony Khan in your ear, like, Tony is a spaz, and Excalibur handles it brilliantly because Tony is talking a mile a minute in his ear, and Excalibur's like, okay, I mean, why do you think Excalibur talks so fast? He's trying to beat Tony Khan to the next thing so he can hear what he's saying.
I don't think he's going to call anybody a rude word. Word. Yeah, I think that's what Mick Foley was upset about.
That's also very true. Yeah, we'll see. Like, I think it's an interesting thing. And on Bear's behalf, was it a Bear who was in our DM talking about maybe pairing Mick Foley up with Darby Allin could be something interesting too. Like, if you use him almost like William Regal, could be.
I don't know.
No, Mick might be able to keep him from killing himself. We know that Mick has done the dumb things, but Mick might be like, bro, I can barely walk to the car after I'm counting all my money at this signing. So, like, maybe think twice.
Yeah, but didn't they did a lot to launch him from your favorite wrestlers thing? Yeah, so it's like that's what I'm saying. Wouldn't it be like a step? Like, what is this with wrestling and step backs? Is this what's going? Is this what we're doing right now?
You think taking on Mick Foley as a mentor over Sting is a step backwards? That is clearly an improvement.
No. But what is a step backwards is that they already detach him from somebody to like just couple him with someone else. I
quite like that. I think that's nice. I think it's like Darby Allin is fake dads. I think that's nice. He gets a new fake dad every year.
I think that's Christian's gimmick, but anyways.
That's true.
Or you just have Mick Foley mentor a whole faction of them called Don't Die.
It's just a vignette of Darby and Mick hanging out, just hitting each other with trash cans or something.
Absolutely. Honestly, I like the idea of Darby Allin going, I miss my surrogate dad. Let's get Mick Foley. And I think that's great. I think that's really fun.
I'm not opposed to it at all.
He's ringing up
all
Mick,
right.
going, Mick, do you think I should jump off of this? And Mick's on the other end going, no, Dad. No.
Honestly, I'd love that. That'd be my favorite segment of the year. Done.
Right. And Mick just going, I don't know. Is it real glass?
Yeah. Listen to my wrist.
Look, it'll be interesting. Like in anything in wrestling, again, that catches you by surprise or gets the little thing tingling in your head. Like, we're all talking about it. None of us know where it's going to go. It's another name to add to the mix, and it could be like Big Show and Mark Henry were in AEW, where they were around, they did some things, they found some spots for him, but they didn't really contribute a ton. It could be as small as that, or it could be as big as like a William Regal having a whole faction or being involved on that level. I just sadly don't think it's going to be in a commissioner type position, because Tony Khan doesn't want the show to ever look like somebody besides him is booking it, and yet he doesn't want to be on camera. So that whole on-camera decision maker thing seems to not be something that can work in AEW, which is unfortunate in my opinion, story-wise. I want to talk about NWA for a minute, guys. They did a deal recently, and you've heard me on this show say before that I was enjoying NWA being on the Roku channel, but a lot of people weren't really finding it on the Roku channel, and I guess monetarily the deal wasn't all that great. So Billy Corrigan found a way to a new deal and going over to Comet, which is basically where Ring of Honor used to be back in the day, kind of a syndicated network in the States here, where you find it on your UHF dial and all that stuff. So that was an interesting deal, and a lot of people didn't know what Comet was. So I looked at some of the numbers, and at first I was thinking, when I wanted to talk about this, that I was going to say like, it was a bad idea. Why'd you move, Billy? Turns out the numbers have actually been good. Their first week they did 275,000 or whatever, which was better than what TNA did that week. Like literally in the course of 2 weeks, did NWA become number 3? Wow, what is happening here? Like, silently, Billy Corrigan is making some moves. And speaking of silently, I gotta give it up, even though she freaking hates me and I don't know what she's got against me. But Tiffany Nieves,
have you seen your own interview?
It's not so much that my interviews are antagonistic. It's that she doesn't want me to be nice. She made me be mean, Tony. I swear to God, it wasn't my fault.
She made you. Okay, fine. Go ahead. Continue.
But look, we know for a fact that Tiffany Nieves doesn't like me very much, but I can still appreciate the work. I don't care for the things that she does, but I can't say that it isn't brilliant for her to win the Burke Invitational, and the Burke is the name of the belt for the women in the NWA. She wins this invitational where she gets a cash-in option from this bouquet of flowers or whatever, and she has her heater, and I know she hates me calling her a heater, but she has this giant woman, Greta, who's only like, I don't know, 20 years old or something, or 19 years old. I don't even know. This girl's a phenom. She's gigantic. She's Wimby-sized. Like, she walks to the ring and she's at eye level with the top rope. Insane. This woman comes down after Natalia Markova successfully defends her belt. She just choke slams the crap out of Markova. And then Tiffany comes down and, in true princessa fashion, puts one foot on this woman and becomes the NWA Women's Champion. The storylines with her are amazing. NWA has her on every one of their posters. They're sitting around to do the promotion. And again, she's been quietly making this move over there and making a name for herself as a singular draw and attraction for this company. And it's impressive. And people don't know. I mean, here she is. She's winning the NWA title, but she's up against Ronda and Gina on Netflix the same night. Like, so nobody knew. So yes, Tiffany Nieves is your NWA women's champion right now. NWA is making moves with this Comet deal, and all of a sudden, is NWA back in the conversation? That's my real question for you guys, and I'll let whoever wants to take it. But like, NWA, who knew? That's the question.
Well, I had the chance to look at the video. Actually, I do get Comet because I have YouTube TV, and it is part of the channels that I get.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's when I ask you like, what is Comet TV? Sorry, yes, I watch reruns of like the X-Files and stuff like that. That's where they are at.
Yeah, so they have a lot of sci-fi programming on.
They have a lot of sci-fi.
If you're sci-fi fans like me and Tony, that's a great channel.
It is a great channel. So I can see where the numbers are coming from, though they are very impressive compared to like people like TNA, whatever.
You're still mad that I mean, Santana's still their champ, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you guys promised something they didn't. Never. I'm not gonna talk about TNA. I'm not gonna do it.
Fair enough.
They need to improve a lot of stuff. But the thing is, like, I saw it. I actually like what happened. I actually like the way they went off the air with her. On top of this huge person, probably 2 times me. Like, we need to put 2 Tonys on top of each other to be that
right.
She's 5'6".
I don't know. Okay, whatever. So yes, I liked it. It was pretty cool. I do see something very interesting in Tiffany, especially because she doesn't like you for some reason. That's like a plus. Right?
Why is that a good quality? That's not a good quality.
I don't know. You make great TV. We should put you on the show. See what happens. Let's just see what happens. Put him getting chopped a little bit. Mm. Yes. Let's do that. But also, this is my thing. If this is a lateral move for NWA, like quality-wise for the production, then it's just, I don't know. I would like to see a little bit more. I don't like the TNA NWA look right now. I want TV productions to look like TV productions. I don't want them to look like BOD productions, like a lot of these looks like this is a company that got a streaming service. I don't like that. I want a little bit more production. I don't want the like when AEW was doing the residency in Dallas, it was full of people. It was packed, every one of them. You couldn't tell.
Yeah, okay, and that was Ring of Honor, but also look at Ring of Honor when they tried to do a studio production version where you're just like looking at the grid and the ceiling and for Ring of Honor, and it didn't look great at all. And they had like 70 people in there, and NWA has found a way to do this consistently for the last decade, and have a following. They have some loyal fans. They have people that come to the tapings.
I want them to be more. I want NWA to mean the National Wrestling Alliance. Like, I want that because I was having a conversation about the significance of the NWA Women's World Title because of Thunder, right? Like, I wanted them to understand this is.
I'm sorry, this is just the most hilarious comment ever. Mick Foley is a pedo drug addict. Okay, sure, whatever you say, Blinky.
All right, man.
I don't know if I can go for that one, but very salacious comment that got you noticed for 5 seconds. Thank you, Blinky. Go ahead, Tony.
Anyway, so I want it is not that it's an effort to put on product out there. Like, I understand that part, but let's see the production value of this. Like, if it's a lateral move just to have the show on a different network that will give you those numbers, fine. But also let's make it look a little shinier. That's what I'm saying. Okay. And I like the product, and I like what happened, and I do like Tiffany as a champion, especially because it might mean that you might get chopped in.
I've made this mistake of letting wrestlers get over. Like, no. I chop back. Goddamn it!
I'm sure Simon will tell you this because we lived through the height of the Brit Rest movement in the mid to late 2010s. I'd say it's kind of doing all right now, but it took a dive after COVID, but you need talented people. Money's good. Money's really good. But if you've got the right talented people, they can do a lot with next to no money in terms of the production values of things. And I know a lot of the Brit Rests, the way that the like live shows were presented when you got them on video demand was really good. And like, was it WSW the other day where Cross was at?
Yeah.
Yes.
In Australia. I mean,
World Series.
Their production looked way better than TNA. You know, from just like, and I know they've got some money behind them because obviously some of the talent they drag out to Australia, but you know,
I can't imagine that show made the money. I don't know how. Like, you're flying all this talent over there, and
they did
the
a tour out of
did
it.
look great. Like, but maybe you do it as a loss leader to get somewhere. Like, I don't know.
They did it as a tour, so usually they used to only do it as one show. But this time they did, like, I want to say 5 shows out of it. So it's the classic thing like we used to always have here, like you get Penta and Phoenix in, you know, send them to like 4 different shows, help pay, stretch the pay across.
See, Rebecca, I agree with you. It's Byron that needs to get chopped. He's not here today, but it's Byron. Why me all of a sudden? I'm supposed to be the baby.
I don't know what happened in that interview. I don't know.
She's a heel. I'm the baby face. We're supposed to be cheering for me, aren't we?
Not in 2026.
We're Mexicans. We definitely cheered for the rules of this place.
You literally have there's 3 Mexicans versus you now.
Oh, this is terrible. What do they call this?
I'm adopted, Tony.
Mexico,
I'm
Tony?
adopted.
Is this
are adopted,
hermano
yes.
side? What do you call this when you have some lady beating up on some poor defenseless podcast host?
This Friday night
entertainment.
Pay-per-view, yeah. Behind the
pay-per-view, yes.
Pay-per-view behind the paywall is what we call it here. We're not stupid.
We know how to monetize the show now.
Fine. Look, if that's what it takes, then she can chop me all day long if we're gonna actually get paid for it. All right, Daniel, you look like you had something to say about this.
Yeah. So I didn't watch any NWA since never. So
it's fair.
So what's like the entrance match for me?
Oh. Well,
or 5 matches that I need to look for.
If you're looking at the current product, I would say you should actually go back to the I don't know if it was an unsanctioned or whatever. I'll send it to you, but there was a match that Markova and Tiffany had previously that I think was really good. And also another Tiffany match, which is Tiffany and her former partner, whose name shall not be mentioned, that left NWA for the WWE ID program. Against Allison Kay and Marty Bell in that tag division. That was very good. There was also some stuff from the Crockett Cup, I think, that might be worth watching. I mean, that's one of their signature things, and all their tag teams stepped up in the Crockett Cup this year, and good wrestling. Storyline-wise, some of it's a little ham-fisted is what I like to call it, but it's intentional. When you're watching NWA, you have to understand that since the time of when Dave Lagana was there, when Thunder used to be in the promotion, and Ricky Saints and a lot of these names that you know now were in NWA, they really decided to do this thing. Billy Corgan really wanted it to be a throwback style product. So when you're watching NWA, you have to kind of channel your inner AWA, like your inner old school feeling, and understand that they're doing some of these more ham-fisted, cheesy backstage yelling type promos, and big guys in singlets, with bellies and things like that. But it's really intentional. And if that's not your style of wrestling, NWA might not do it for you. But that's what they have available out there. That's what's available to them. And I think that they've embraced it and made it like this old school wrestling show on purpose. But that's part of why Tiffany is so great, because I think she's one of the talent over there that's bridging the gap and making it palatable for the newer audiences, as well as bringing people into this old world style. Like what she did to win that match, that's Ric Flair 101 circa 1983. Like, this is not new. It was the heel just straight up doing a heel thing. Like, oh, you're giving me a cash-in thing? We're not going to make this cutesy or do anything. Like, I've got a 6'6" giant woman on my side. She's just going to go out there and slam the champion, and I'm going to cash in and not break a sweat. None of this, like, cashing in and then actually trying to wrestle shit. What are we talking about here? No, I just cheat. I take the belt. I'm your champion. That I love. So to me, that's why I think it's interesting. And I'll send you some matches to watch. There's some fun stuff at NWA right now. Simon, what do you feel about this with Tiffany Nieves and the current NWA product?
I like what I saw. I mean, I honestly think that I think you hit the nail on the head, Justin. Like, you don't need to overthink these things sometimes. Like, it reminds me of, not that I'm trying to tell my own stories, but there was a wrestling promotion I was wrestling for over here in the UK, and the guy I was fighting, they wanted to turn into this big deal, and we don't know what to do. It's very like Roman Reigns in the Shield. He's got to look strong. We got to put him over. And I was like, well, then just have him beat me in a minute. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's really what we need to do. And then everyone was like, oh, we can't do that. It's an independent show. And I was like, we can do it. And everybody loved it because it was different, but also it was something they could relate to easily because they've seen it so many times. And when I watch this, again, I don't get to watch NWA just because I already have too much wrestling to watch, and it literally is no time. It's easy to understand. You understood the characters instantly. Do you know what I mean? And it just worked. It got a reaction. Them as a heel group looked great. Like the part when she stood on her leg and she went on her shoulders. Like, I've seen that 1,000 times before, but it works, like you said. So I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really, really good angle. And you could probably have had the sound off, which I always think is a dumb argument because half of wrestling is sound. But even through their mannerisms, you can tell who's a good guy, who's a bad guy. Right. And that, to me, is good professional wrestling. So, yeah, no, I really dug it. And I mean, you sent me a Comet link and I was able to watch it on Comet. So over here in the UK, apparently that's totally fine. So I presume that's where NWA is. I did a quick check there. It's not, I know it used to be on YouTube over here. It's not on YouTube anymore. So maybe we're just allowed to access Comet on the app, I guess. I don't know, but it was there. So yeah, maybe.
At least you were able to see it. Meefloaf?
I don't really get to watch it like Simon said. And it used to be we used to have an amazing channel called the Wrestling Channel, which had like it was so good, wasn't it, Simon? Like all of the old Ring of Honor from like 2000 and whatever plus. Like,
it was like the Power Slam magazine come to life. Yeah, it was amazing.
That's cool.
And it had NWA. Yeah, Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe was on there. Just everything. So that would have been the kind of place I could have watched that. But no, I have 2 children. I have little time for wrestling, and WWE kills my soul.
Maybe you should give up on WWE and just watch NWA. Like, maybe we can revive your soul. I don't know. That sounds very serious.
We all know that if someone goes and signs for a certain company, I'm going to have to delete a lot of tweets and start following that company.
Yeah, that could really, really happen. And for those who don't understand what his veiled threat is, I will just say it plainly. If and / when Santos Escobar signs with AEW, Meefloaf is going to have to retract a bunch of his statements on which company sucks and which company is awesome.
Oh, I want to see that.
I mean, look, everybody on this show has been made to eat crow at some point in time. Like, don't have an opinion if you want to be right all the time.
Exactly. Embrace the failure.
To be fair, my opinion's always been I just can't watch it. It's like, is it still on ITV on a Friday randomly, Simon?
But let's be honest.
The day seems to change, but yeah, it's still on ITV2 at random times on a whatever day.
Yeah.
Let's be honest too, Meefloaf. We wouldn't have been watching NXT had Cross and Santos and some other people gone there, and then we started watching NXT, and it was like, oh, Johnny Gargano's over here. This is pretty good, and this and this guy are over here, and oh, I still don't like Adam Cole or whatever you were saying at the time. Like, there was, But yeah, sometimes your favorite guy going to a new place brings you there. Like CM Punk is clearly that guy too. Wherever CM Punk goes, 100,000 people will follow him. It was very apparent in the numbers. The second he left AEW, 100,000 people were gone. The second he showed up on WWE, 100,000 more people were watching. You can't get any more transparent about what the guy brings to the table. No matter where he goes, he's bringing 100,000 people with him. If he went to TNA, which is part of why they were begging, like, please come here. Like, 100,000 people would have gone with him in Santos.
His theme tune is apt, isn't it? Cult of Personality.
Exactly. I mean, he's self-aware of that. I don't think he'd argue with.
I hope so.
So I got to get this one in. I want to talk about the Noches de los Grandes, the night of the greats. No, not sure.
No,
Not,
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We can move
Not
on.
did I do it
Libre night.
okay?
What?
Grandes.
No. Stop. You were fine. It was okay.
Noches de
Now
los-
let's have Simon say it.
Noshes.
No, we're not going to do that. This is like it's not going to happen. Not going to happen. Long learnt my lesson with stuff like that. If you're too ignorant to know, just don't speak. So
Okay, let's talk about the night of the greats with
Hey,
Great
say it.
American versus Great American.
Betty versus Grande. Yes.
This, I'm gonna say it again. It's not the first time I've said it. It clearly won't be the last time I've said it. This works so well in AAA and doesn't work an iota in WWE. The
My God.
tornado match with American Made and Chad Gable versus the actual Los Americanos was not bad as far as wrestling goes, but storyline wise, crowd involvement wise, just dreadful on WWE programming. But I want to walk away from that. I'm just going to leave that alone. It is what it is.
That's what
They
I
need
don't
to
watch
stop.
Raw because they're ruining my AAA. You know.
But Triple A has been absolutely fantastic. It is a great show. I love the hour format or whatever, hour and a half, whatever they're doing. There's been some different lengths. The storylines make sense. It's simple. It's fun. And I am expecting a lot from this match. Tony, you're going to this match, right?
That is correct.
Yeah.
We are very happy to go.
All right. Well, explain it to the gringo over here and the two European guys. What are we expecting, and how is this supposed to make me feel as far as wrestling goes?
Oh well, there's been some conversation right now. Like I already had like an idea what I was gonna say about this, but then I saw a couple of takes right now going on in Mexico on the influencer sphere of what might happen, and I don't know. I'm kind of confused here about what might happen. But let's just talk about the actual movement that is happening around the match itself. Like right now, they're organizing serenades for Venti in Mexico City and here in Monterrey, which I think we're gonna try to go. Is that
wait. So you're going to extracurricular
yes
wrestling activities
not
based
sanctioned by
on
AAA
Mexican pride for a German.
Yes.
We're gonna give him the passport and the nationality.
Yeah,
right there.
I've been talking to some people that I know, and I think I can make it happen this weekend. No, I'm kidding.
It's like 1944 all over again. What's going on?
Yeah, well, so this is the interesting part. So also, a Mexican can knight other people to become Mexicans, like just FYI, just as we have done with Meef here. So yeah,
I mean, I get that part. I can invite people to the cookout, but I didn't know we were that far along here.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, no. Okay, so this is what's happening. The only thing that I don't know if WWE or TKO is calculating, it's that if they don't do this right, you might have an actual riot in your hands. Like, yes, you can try to pivot to Marcel or whatever his name is going to be after this, and try to make him the unmasked, luchador. But if people don't take to it, you might have some beers thrown in a WWE programming. This is still a Mexican crowd.
Yeah.
This is still a AAA crowd, right? You might still have, a couple of months ago, there was a problem with people throwing money at the ring, which is a tradition that we have here and stuff like that. And if you piss the people off enough, and we had enough beers, I don't drink, thank God. You might have some beers thrown at you. Like like I said a couple of weeks ago, you might move a lot of people from AAA directly into CMLL.
Right.
Like you just take a hunt.
You
like
can't just do the unexpected thing for the sake of doing it here. There's a little more at stake.
Because some of the takes that I was seeing is like, oh, they're gonna try to recreate the Undertaker streak ending with Brock, and if they do that, that shit will not go over great. Let me tell you.
So, not to put a stereotype in here, Tony, but I have seen Mexican people strap a cage to themselves, covered in fireworks, and find it a good time. So I don't want to see what happens if they do this, because I mean I
know American wrestlers that have gone over there with gringo gimmicks and gotten piss thrown on them.
Yeah,
like really bad things have happened when you're that hated.
And
I mean,
this is
you can tell the story
like,
of like him losing.
And this is the other part. Like they have come here to San Pedro lately. That is, it's a show center. It's very nice, very classy. It has a mall with like Prada and Dior next to it. No, you are gonna put this in Arena Monterrey. Okay,
that's where the people are.
Yeah,
the real people.
Yeah,
I get it.
Carry, fine, right? But it is where the people are. This is where we like to hang out, and this is where people go and listen to like banda music and stuff like that. So, do you really want to piss off that people? Do you want to be in the position where you don't give the people the win of the guy that you want to win? Like,
and there's gonna be people watching the match outside the arena.
Yes,
right.
Okay. So there's not tickets anymore. I think they put a new a section of tickets, and that got sold out as well. Like also, Daniela de las Luchas is coming here from Mexico City just to watch it because she found a plane ticket that was cheap enough and one ticket that was cheap enough. So she's gonna fly.
Oh, but she's not sitting with you, so you can bodyguard for her before and after. But she's sitting on her own.
She's sitting on her own.
Okay.
We
good luck, Danny.
We cannot. What's it called? We would not be eating beans and rice for the next couple of months for these tickets. But we got some nice tickets. But the thing is that's it.
And you paid for tickets? Cheapskate Tony paid for tickets?
This is the first time I'm paying for AAA tickets in my life.
Wow.
And probably not again. This is something. This is people are talking about it. People are not watching Raw like me just because they don't want that part to be ruined. We get highlights and things that things on Twitter, X, whatever. But I think there's a high expectation. I hope that AAA it's measuring the reaction that either way it's gonna go.
Well,
and me if it's like no. Well, I'm just saying I'm hoping because
to quote a British person, I've got some bad news for you.
I think that
he's from Preston.
Judging by the American indie kind of reaction, and this show kind of came out of the Lucha Clique, which was the indie wrestling side of Lucha Libre from the American perspective, and the Lucha blogs and the Professor Casey and Meefloaf and all these guys, and even though Meefloaf was in England, but like there's a distinct perception here that this is one of the best things in wrestling, period. And in America, at least with the smart marks and the indie wrestling crowd, this match is highly anticipated, probably more so than anything at Double or Nothing or Clash in Italy. So that's great. Like, I think it's doing its job. You've got the hardcore fans interesting. I don't know if it translates to the casuals or not, but I think that at least from the American perspective, this match is being given the credence it deserves. I think we've all recognized the importance of it. I think a lot of us are surprised how Marcel has really become this. He's fighting against literally everything that he actually is, which is hilarious. And it makes it just a wonderful story, but that it's being so embraced by the Mexican people and that he is fighting for Mexico, and he's fighting for representation in wrestling of doing things the right way for Lucha Libre. It's hilarious, but also it's genuinely heartwarming somehow. And I don't know how we got here, but I'll take it because there's very little of that in wrestling. So from the American perspective, love it. I'm all for it.
He also did something the other day. Like he did a video, ask himself with a Mexican national team shirt on, and then he forgot that he was not wearing a mask, or he kayfabe it, whatever. But then he was like, he in Spanish, like from your friend, sorry. That I don't know if he tried to say Marcel or he was gonna say Ludwig, whatever. But he's like, you're from your friend Ludwig Kaiser. It's like, what? It was great. He was saying that like it was like a shout out to a kid, you know.
I love it.
It was.
And I hope he just stays under the hood for the rest of his entire career. But Simon Meef, I want to know what your perspective is, being British and slightly more removed from this continent, if it's translated over there, and what you guys think about the Americanos battle. Simon,
I think it all depends on what you're watching. Yeah, because like the tornado tag on Raw, I thought was hilarious because impossible to keep up with because it's just the same person flying around. I was like, this is the most stupid. This actually needed tags. I know we didn't do tags to tie into the culture and stuff, but man, that was really, really making me laugh. But I mean, I try and watch AAA in sort of highlight form, and look, it works down there, right? And I think that's the coolest thing about wrestling is you can go in there with the best laid plans, the worst laid plans. If something connects and something works, just go with it. And I hope they do keep this nice and simple, right? Also, Chad Gable's better as Chad Gable. It's sort of, I guess there's a funniness. Whatever funniness that there was there, it wore off a long time ago. I would argue it's probably quite novel at the time. But, you know, this Ludwig Kaiser thing came out the other side, which is a massive positive. And again, people don't find that silly, so you may as well use that. So yeah, I hope the Undertaker turns out to be a very old school booker and just goes, they hate him, he loses, and then Chad Gable can just go back to being Chad Gable, because as Chad Gable, that's another conversation for a different day. There's still so many legs that WWE can run with him. I mean, he's pretty good. So
and they need him back in the mid card sorely.
Do, right?
I mean, given as Americano, he's been in the mid card, but it doesn't really work on Raw. And they could just use some good old Chad Gable versus, Tozawa or whatever the hell absolutely. They need.
Just 8 minutes of carnage, right? Just do it. Get it done. But I think the Ludwig Kaiser thing is awesome. And again, it's because you talked about it earlier, Justin. It's because he embraced it and he pushed it forward. That's what he did. He threw himself into it with more than I think anybody could have done. And more power to him. I'm glad he found a role because he was floundering a bit there as Ludwig Kaiser. It was weird. They didn't really know what to do with him.
Yeah. One last thing I want to get to in this hot takes thing real quick. I had a couple of potential things that I wanted to talk about here, but we had this topic last week and it got a little bit of traction and I got some interesting DMs. So I'm going to quickly go around the horn here to you guys. What character in wrestling needs a gimmick makeover right now? Who is it? And what would you do for them in general? Like, where should we go with some of these people? I'm going to go with one that I stated not too long ago and go a little more in depth on it. I think Aleister Black needs to go back to being Tommy End. I think that Aleister Black and Malachi Black or whatever have burned the bridges, not necessarily like torched them down, not in an evil or bad way, but like that character, that style, that thing, it's run its course. He also got shoehorned into kind of being a replacement version of Cross, which I don't think fit him very well. And it's been sullied. It's not where it needs to be anymore. And if you go back to more of this European kickboxer, this evil Dutch kickboxer kind of thing that he did on the indies, I think there could really be some life there for it. I think he could have some good indie runs, and I think that he could even get himself back into a position of maybe being desirable in an AEW or even back at WWE for a third time. But I think he's got to go to a different gimmick, and the current thing has to just 100% go away. I think it needs a makeover, because I think if people continue to look at him the way that he's being looked at right now, it's damaged goods. And I don't know if he realizes that or not. So my take on the gimmick makeover is Aleister Black. Lose all the dark stuff, lose that stuff, go to a more gritty, European tough guy thing, go back to the kickboxer thing and lose the whole Prince of Darkness thing. As Ozzy Osbourne said, I'm the bloody fucking Prince of Darkness, Sharon. Like, just lose it. Lose all of the goth.
Christ.
Yes.
What was that accent?
It's Ozzy.
It's
Clearly.
Not Ozzy.
All right. So this time I think we'll start with Simon. Simon, have you got a makeover tip for somebody here?
I would argue that WWE could make over their entire tag team division. I
don't know that they would disagree at this point.
Is anybody there?
No, I mean, I don't even think that she's in a bad spot. I just don't think that WWE particularly knows what to do with her. I would say you can kind of push all these people together. Well, especially these two. I think Bayley and Lyra need something, because all the stuff they were doing beginning of last year, whenever it was, with Becky and the IC title, was so good, and I was really, really enjoying it. And I thought they made that belt feel like it was worthwhile. And then we had that SummerSlam match, which didn't go to plan, but that's okay. These things happen, and that felt like a massive full stop. Yeah, I mean, what I really wanted to happen with the women's tag belts was to evolve Alexa and Charlotte, and to evolve Bayley and Lyra, and kind of like, okay, we've established they're friends, turn either of them, one of them heel. I don't think it particularly matters, but then actually start telling the stories about, because they've been, especially Charlotte and Bayley, have been around for and Alexa too, right? They've all been around for ages. But I think out of all four, to give you a more specific answer, I still think, I'm just a big Bayley fan. I just think there is still so much untapped in there that WWE's never accessed, really. Even after I win at WrestleMania 40 against Io Sky, right? That was 40. Was it 40? I think so. Yeah. It still felt like, great, we had the moment, but then we didn't capitalize on it, which actually has been a WWE faux pas with that Raw women's title, because they did it with Tiffany. Well, it was a SmackDown one. They did with Tiffany Stratton, and they did with Stephanie Vicaire. Like, where's the follow-on feuds? There's no follow-on feuds. I don't understand it. So I would like to see them do something else with Bayley. But then I see Bayley in interviews, and she seems very content and happy. So I'm like, well, that's all I really care about, as long as you're having a good time. But I think there's still something there. There is a Mark Henry type moment within Bayley that we can use, and I think it would take her off on a nice run. So yeah, I'd like to see something there.
See, you see that, Meef? Simon is behind tapping Bayley.
We're all behind
You should
Bayley.
appreciate all of it. Sorry, it's just a running thing here, Simon.
She's doing great here in Mexico. They pair her with
yeah, she is,
Catalina. With Catalina.
They paid her with
Catalina's
they paid
gonna benefit
against
a lot
somebody.
from that.
All right, Tony, who you gonna make over?
I think Sammy Guevara. He had a match.
I thought him too. He popped in my head as well.
Yeah, Saturday. He had a match on Saturday. And that was basically all I caught from that show. But I mean, of course, I don't want him to go back to where he was like 3 years ago or something like that. But there's got to be something else that we can do with the guy. Super talented. He just, there's a lot of things that happen backstage, I guess, and other things. Yeah. But he is, he's really talented. He was a former TNT champion. Like he was like 3-time champion, and then I think was he the one that took it from Cody before he left and all this stuff. I mean, yeah, right, like something like that. Yeah. It's been
a while.
Yeah, it's been a while since he's been. I mean, he's been champion at ROH, but other champions at ROH are always at AEW TV. What's going on here? Why can't we do that? And I understand there's issues and stuff like that, but that guy needs to be back. Like, I really enjoy him. I really enjoy that, getting on top of the ladder and just like landing on his back or whatever. It's like Darby Allin, but not, trying to kill himself. It's just, yeah.
Well, what was Bear's idea? Bear wanted the guys and their hot girlfriends tag.
Oh my God, yeah. Well, my girlfriend's hot shirts. Yes.
Yeah. So it's like Sammy with Tay and Scapegoat. What's his face? The
Jack Perry.
Jurassic. Yeah, that guy. I can never remember his name because just
Jack
doesn't
Perry.
matter to me.
Yeah.
No, Jack Perry and Anna Jay and what was the other one I said? There's get Joey Janela and Megan Bain in there. I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
That. I mean, whatever.
And just have these guys all be super cocky with their hot girlfriends and just total dicks.
Yeah, they can lean into what they actually are, and these will push them to like,
Yeah,
this-
like Rebecca's saying. There you go.
And I mean, that's the one. It communicates something. It can work. It can work.
Well, they tried to do a little bit of that with their whole like kissing on stage and stuff, but it was almost like, this is a little too voyeuristically gross. We need more of the like Randy Macho Man showing off Elizabeth kind of approach to it, to me.
Yeah, just the
of like the I'm presenting it this way because I'm better than you are kind of vibe. And honestly, I think it would do wonders for Jack Perry too.
Yeah,
Jack could definitely use something.
And I mean, just real quick, because she has a match later on tonight against Thunder Rosa. But,
I was gonna get to it. I wasn't gonna not plug your girl.
Okay, no. Athena. I think Athena also will need something to spark it back up.
She should go back to being a werewolf.
Whatever works, my man. No,
I mean, she was. Ember Moon was like her NXT character, but it was like the Chris Statlander thing. Like Chris Statlander's an alien, but we don't really acknowledge it. Like in NXT, Ember Moon was kind of a werewolf, but we don't really acknowledge it.
We'll check my card. Justin, we'll check my card after this comment, but at least he's not an electric power based person. So
okay, I got you.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know. Black superheroes, y'all.
Yeah, black superheroes always have electric powers. Yes. That's what I'm saying.
we're
yeah, those two. But I couldn't tell you what is that in this instance we need to happen with
Athena.
With Athena, but I think there's got to be something else.
I could book her. I could do it. Daniel, I know you're the newer guy, so who would you make over?
I have two options, but one is my drop of the week, so I won't say it now.
Oh, well, keep that because we're about to do that next.
Yeah. So the other one for me is Austin Theory. Right now, it feels like
he's had a few
another version of Logan Paul, but yeah, I like him, but I don't know, man. It doesn't click for me. Like I never saw him before, but
yeah, he has no charisma.
Oh, look at that, Tony. Ooh.
I mean,
you gotta have
that
the
Rock might
to
be
the rules, so that the rule
like
exists.
One of 20. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, but what's the conductivity of the Rock that they use? So you know, I'm just saying.
In that second Black Panther movie, there was a lot of electricity going on that CGI scene.
Wow. Guys are terrible. It's racism.
It's not. I'm just pointing out a flaw in comic and superhero lore. So yeah, let's move on.
All right. Meefloaf, did you have? Oh, go ahead, Daniel.
No.
Yes,
That's it for me.
Okay.
Sorry.
What, Meef?
I don't really have one because I don't care about anybody enough to make them over. That needs saving. The only person I would like to see have an entire gimmick rework is Psycho Clown.
Oh my fucking god!
So he stopped.
Yeah, but you want to see him have his gimmick reworked, as in you want him to go and work at a 7-Eleven, like, and not be in wrestling.
Not quite
that. Really count.
He can be in wrestling. I just don't want to see him bouncing up and down with a guitar.
Okay.
With a blow-up guitar. Kids,
I
like
think
he's going
that's fair.
to a kid's party.
Oh, the hate is
It's
so
a long-running
real.
feud, by the way, Simon, me and Psycho Clown. But back to
You're gonna
quickly
feud with
back, 'cause you
someone.
missed me for the Lucha Libre thing. Was the Ludwig Kaiser thing is fantastic because the first masked wrestler in Mexico wasn't Mexican, so it's a little bit of a throwback to that.
Yeah,
And
and I don't disagree with that. I think that that's kind of cool too, and that's fun. It's fun, and it's fine. I love where they're going with it. All right, guys, let's do this thing. It's time for Mats and Mayhem's Pops and Drops. This is our weekly segment where we tell you what popped and what got dropped because it was
about wrestling
bad.
How long
It was
is it going
just
to be?
bad. So I'm gonna start this week with my drop. My drop of the week is motherfucking Danhausen. And I'm gonna use bad words now, Tony, because we're past the 5-minute mark. And damn it, that little shit. I love Donovan as a person. I hate this Danhausen character. Like, if we're going to do a kayfabe thing, I want to fight Danhausen now. You dumb jackass. What are you doing? Why did you curse my Cleveland Cavaliers? Bro, they were up by 21 something friggin' points. Jalen comes out after the game and they're like, Jalen, how did you win? And he's like, I don't know. The guy who did the actual winning of the game doesn't know. So what happens? The news media grabs a hold of this thing and says it must be because of Danhausen. Oh my God. I am being a Cavs fan and a wrestling fan today of all days is literally the worst thing you could imagine because my entire feed, all of my sports feed, Danhausen. All of my wrestling feeds, Danhausen. What did you do? Lift the curse, Danhausen. I will give you all of Tony's human monies to please lift all of his human pesos monies to lift this curse.
I couldn't care less about the Cavs.
I will give you Meefloaf's firstborn child to lift this curse.
Getting crazy. No.
I will give you every one of Simon's hair follicles to lift this fucking curse, Danhausen. Please.
Is it basketball? Is this basketball you're talking about?
Yeah,
he's talking about basketball. They
it's
have
not that
nothing
hard
going
to
on
score
in
1,000
Cleveland.
points a game, isn't it? Everybody just runs up one end, throws a ball in, then they run up the other end, throw a ball in. It's a nonsensical
You have to
sport.
understand there's nothing else going on in Cleveland. This is what keeps them alive. Okay. So
I just like the way Tony says Cleveland because he makes it a 3-syllable word.
Cleveland.
Very awesome. I'm keeping that. That's my drop. I'll leave it alone. I'll leave it there. Fuck you, Danhausen. Please, Cavs, just prove this prick wrong. But now it doesn't even matter because he'll just say, they didn't give me enough human monies. And, he can get his way out of it now. They've won 8 straight games since Danhausen uncursed the Knicks and blessed them. 8 straight games. It's unheard of. In the NBA playoffs, nobody wins 8 straight games because of some face-painted wrestler. Like Thunder Rosa. Can Thunder Rosa curse the Knicks and bless the Cavs? We need a face-painted wrestler to help us.
She only cares about the Spurs.
The Spurs.
But then we could face the Spurs, and I would be happy to lose to Wemby in the finals. Anyway, I'm done. Meefloaf, give me your drop.
Raw. WWE, take it.
All of Raw?
The whole thing. The whole shebang. The whole company.
Even with the Brock Lesnar?
Fire everybody. No, yeah, I don't want Brock Lesnar. You know, I hate, as a person, Jesus. Okay. Burn it all down. With Seth Rollins in the building.
Wow. That's brutal. That's just murder. That's actually arson and murder. You're like an AEW character. What are you doing?
I'm switching sides, remember?
Okay, I got it. All right, Daniel, drop of the week, brother.
For me, obviously it's Raw, but the thing that I didn't like.
This is so brutal. Sorry, WWE.
Yeah, don't hate me. But the thing is that remember how we all got excited by the demon? We all got excited. So I don't know, why are they making all of this? Why they make that fight have the demon back if they're not gonna do anything?
But this is what I said to you guys. Finn Balor is dead to me because WWE keeps doing this. They just dick tease you with the demon, give you 30 seconds of it. You guys all pop for it. You all fell for it. And then you get 14 weeks of Finn versus JD over and over again. And it's not that it's bad wrestling. It's that it does nothing to move anything forward. It is literally just filler. And they treat it disrespectfully like it is just filler. JD versus Finn Balor could be a pay-per-view main event if they gave it something and didn't treat it like filler. But they're going to keep screwing you. Give up on Finn Balor because they gave up on Finn Balor, not because you want to give up on Finn Balor. That's all I'm telling you, Daniel.
He's going to be AAA champion, mega champion. He's going to be.
And he might. So. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think they're going to get there. But for right now, yes, what you're getting post Demon Awesome Moment is Finn Balor filler. It's just nougat. It's something you put in between chocolate to make you just think that there's more chocolate when there's no actual chocolate. It's
and
nougat.
if they're gonna do that, give him a remake. Give him something like Bullet Club or whatever the status his character had back then. But yeah, oh my god, I hate that.
You were had, brother. You were had. Tony, what's your drop? Give me a drizzop.
My drop is actually, so we went to a CMLL Alto Voltaje show on Sunday, and unfortunately, I think it was the first time that Mystico was here, and he got hurt on that show. So
what did you do?
No, nothing.
Throwing glass in the ring.
Vaseline in the ring. Did you make him slip?
No. What do you mean? I like the guy. We've talked in the past.
Just checking.
No, it was a great moment, but then and this is the problem with me being so trained to actually know when wrestlers are hurt for real. That I knew it immediately. He hadn't even popped back up, and I was already telling Daniel, crap, he's hurt. And then he went down on the ring, and just they were looking at him and stuff. They were like, he's fucking for real. So that's my drop, because I actually am going to Mexico City, and I'm gonna be in Arena Mexico, and I mean, first of all, I hope he gets better, and I'm sad that he's
because he's only got 200 more dates this year
because he has to do 400 days in a year. So I don't know how he does that. He's going to play us against Oxytism.
I'm telling you, he's Lance Burton. He's actually one of triplets, and they just switch places.
There's an old trick. There's an old trick in Lucha Libre, which is some chubby guy goes out and tells everybody he's Santa.
How
many women got pregnant by Blue Demon Jr. back in the
day? but now I won't get to see him in Mexico City, and they will not do the awesome entrance with a sold out crowd. By the way, Thunder on Friday at CMLL Arena Mexico sold out.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, let's plug Thunder Rosa now while we have the chance tonight on AEW Dynamite. I can do that because JJ Walker is my third cousin. That is true. Dynamite. Anyway,
sure.
Thunder Rosa is in a 17-woman
match.
All of the female roster will be in this match. No, she's very excited. I talked to Thunder earlier. She said that it's really cool that she's back in there. She hasn't had a chance to step in the ring with Athena since the day before All In, and she sounded like she was very much looking forward to getting her hands on Athena. So that alone made me very excited for the match, regardless of all the other A-list talent that is in the match. But Thunder will be on Dynamite tonight, and then Thunder will be appearing in Arena Mexico this Friday, right?
That's correct. And also in Arena Coliseo on Saturday. And
she's doing a double shot. Great.
Yeah, she did. And then we're going to Guadalajara for the first time ever. She's going to be in Arena Coliseo, Guadalajara. And I invite everybody here to try to say Guadalajara, except for Daniel.
Guadalajara. Guadalajara.
Sing it.
Simon would never.
No, I've learned my lesson many a time. We're not doing it.
Guadalajara.
Yeah, with those rumors.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. So we're trying to.
That's great.
He's just talking Spanish.
Okay. So we're there's some rumors that TK might take Grand Slam to Guadalajara as well. So we're trying to prepare the terrain for.
Oh, that's nice. Well, I mean, that's a great use of her as a dual sign talent. That's what she should be doing. She should be an ambassador for the sport and helping AEW translate down there and helping CMLL translate up here. I think that's a great position for her at this stage of life, and we're always excited to see our friend Thunder on the television. Now we get to Simon. Simon, unleash your drop of the week on us. What did you hate?
So this is going to be my
this show.
My last
More wrestling talk. Oh,
I think until WWE changes this, I shall continue on my vindication against it. And anyone that watches my content knows this has been going on now almost a decade, I would say. And it is Brie Bella's entrance music and the the opening that auto-tune Brie mode, which does funny stuff. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me, which is why I want Nikki Bella to get better because I want her to not be injured. But when they come out together, they come out to her music or the Bella music, I suppose. Whereas when Brie's by herself, you get Brie mode. I'm like, I can't. I don't even know what it is. It's just like it hits me.
It's PTSD, Simon. That's what that is.
It's
exactly
PTSD right.
From a time of terrible wrestling.
Oh no, I actually think it's the there's something in the audio that actually makes it's when people like scratch. It actually makes me.
Yeah, there's some 14 kilohertz tone in there.
That's right. And there was
it's either 14 kilohertz or 8 hertz, which makes you poop yourself that they use on terrorists.
The other way.
That's the other thing it could be.
There was a glitch last week as well. They actually played her music twice, and I was like, "Well, this is just
now they've really gone and done it."
Yeah. So I'm going to give it to Brie Bella's entrance music, which I you know what you can Def Rebel that. That's the one. There you go. There's my caveat. Don't Def Rebel anything else, but Def Rebel.
Or you can ask us to do a new intro for me and Daniel. We're actually working on music for intros.
Can you imagine what Def Rebel
Simon,
would do
if
with
you
it?
want something else, that sounds like Metallica, but isn't Metallica.
We have a Cumbia Brie mode. Cumbia Brie mode.
That's right.
I'll say you something we worked on Monday. Was it on Monday?
I just WWE is really weird when it comes to the music right now because it's 50-50 and there's no real in-betweens. They're either like I hate Steph's music because it sounds exactly like Finn's old music. You know, the new Roman version sounds like the Casio demo version of his music.
Oh yeah.
It's so bad. So bad. It's like it's the same song, but it's not. But it's really like, how did you take something that was working for 7 years and make it into elevator music? Don't understand.
It's Succession theme.
But then they've got a couple others that are working, like Oba's stuff is working, and Trick and some of these other guys. Like some of the music is like, I can't imagine these dudes without it. Yeah. I don't know. They're really,
that's what you want, right? That's the dream. That's the dream right there. Yeah.
They're really hit or miss though.
Why have the Judgment Day got rap music when they're like goth emo kids? Like it just
because are they?
No, but they're supposed
to be.
Look, it just makes my head explode every time I hear them.
I mean, I equate the Judgment Day currently more with Jersey Shore than I do with emo kids.
Yeah, but they're dressed in leather and black, and they've got their fingernails painted, their eyes painted.
Maybe that's the makeover they need. They just need to come out with gym, tan, laundry, Judgment Day music. All right, let's do pops. Let's end this on a good note. Let's talk about something that we loved in wrestling. Meefloaf, I'm going to start with you because I know this is very difficult for you, and I like to see the scrunchiness on your forehead when I make you say something nice about wrestling this week.
Leeds won against Brighton.
No.
Leeds is not wrestling.
No, but for me, it's wrestling with my soul because I hate them and love them at the same time.
Fair.
Some people are enjoying and getting paid well, and that's all I care about.
Okay.
Cool. I think that's the only positive thing I can say right now. That some people are getting what they deserve. In a nice way.
You're nothing if not consistent, Meefloaf. I will give you that. Daniel, what did you like this week? Give me your pop.
The CMLL anniversary Mystico's entrance with the original singer was really good. They upload like a version without the public or the people singing, and then like two days ago they upload the
real version.
Yeah, it was crazy. And also on Sunday, he had the same effect. Everyone was singing, like I don't know. He got like some aura around the entrance, even though it's a ballad. You can see people cry on the arena. It's actually really, really crazy.
You can see 60-year-old man crying through the song. Everybody just cries on that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Included.
Great.
And the other pop that I had related to like AW or NXT in this case, WWE and NXT, is the Women's North America Championship match between Tatum and Lizzie was really good. If you didn't watch it, go and watch it. It was really crazy. I really like it.
It was a good match. We didn't even get a chance to talk NXT, but yeah. And once again, and I've said this before, like you can gut the NXT women's roster 3 times over, and what's left is still excellent. The men's division, Tony D is holding it down, and Tony D is holding it down.
No, you got Will Cruises there now. Come on.
I mean, which is interesting at least.
I apologize. Drop of the week. Americans trying to sing "He'll Body Slam Your Dad." Jesus Christ!
Wow. Yeah, but you're right. Like NXT, if you want to watch women's wrestling, it's still probably the best women's division in all of wrestling, and they just gutted it, and they're fine. They're fine. Yeah, it's amazing to me. Tony, give me your pop.
So pop of the week, it's the fans in Monterrey this weekend. They fill out what used to be a very it used to be very rundown arena Suleiman, Jose Suleiman, Arena Solidaridad. And I remember when I first got here to the city, it was full of like bird droppings on the second floor, and it was really bad. It was the paint was falling off. It was terrible, and they have rebuilt that place because they tore down Arena Coliseo Monterrey. So now this is the only other kind of independent arena you can have right now. But it was packed. It was packed all the fucking way up, dude. It was beautiful. People sang, and then when the show was over, nobody wanted to leave. They made we sent you the videos. The line to get in was a blockbuster.
Yeah.
It literally went around the block twice because it did like a snake thing. So that is my pop, because it made me feel, that I don't have to go to Mexico City to experience that kind of like indie Mexican lucha libre kind of a thing. And it was great. That means that there is money here to be made, people.
That's a worthy pop. Yeah. Look, if we could get a line like that for AEW wrestling here in Cleveland, I would pop too.
Yeah.
Though they packed last time I was there, so.
Yeah. That is.
Simon, what'd you like?
So mine's going to come out of left field again, but I like to focus on the moments in wrestling that maybe go under the radar. And the backstage segment with the Usos and LA Knight, where Jey Uso quite clearly had been popped before the interview even began, and then struggled throughout the entire interview to not crack up, is everything I love about life. I was like, this is technically ruining an entire segment, but it's way better than it would have been otherwise. And then Jimmy just starts to laugh. Fair play to LA Knight. LA Knight held it together. He didn't even smirk. Yeah. That guy's got it down. But I love Jey Uso. I think Jey Uso is just... He just exists in his own little bubble, and he does his own thing. And I have no idea what's the word I'm looking for, objectives are in his wrestling life. He's just there doing stuff. But man, do I find that man entertaining. So watching him literally throw his body away from the hard cam because he can't be caught laughing, I was like, I'm a happy man. I've enjoyed that immensely.
Oh, good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys, I will wrap it up with my pop of the week. My pop of the week goes out to this little group of people that cover some wrestling stuff called What Culture, and they sent out this one, I guess you call him a reporter, I don't even know, but he did this thing with Road Dogg. So Road Dogg is actually my pop of the week. And if anybody watches this show, you know that everyone thinks I got Road Dogg fired. I didn't get Road Dogg fired, damn it. I just said what even Road Dogg knew, which was that he didn't belong in that position. He knows he didn't belong in that position. But the interview that Simon did with Road Dogg and Billy Gunn, absolutely phenomenal. Please go and watch the clips at very least, if nothing else, because Road Dogg after post WWE is in 100% fuck it mode, and it is beautiful, and it is everything I love about wrestling. Like, he can tell no lies right now, and Simon pulled all of the best stuff out of him. He's just like shooting the shit on a level that is purely what you want. It's what I love about doing interviews on this show. Simon got lucky and he got to do one. And it's just, it just warmed my heart. I loved seeing it. It's definitely my pop of the week, along with this. No, not that one. This.
Yeah,
Bailey's jeans.
Oh my god.
What
Is
about
there
Brock
any?
Lesnar's
I mean,
jeans?
we talked about it for 20 minutes on Monday. I don't care if it's completely inappropriate. Bailey looks really good in those jeans. I'm sorry, she just does, and that makes me a terrible, dirty old man, and I can't help it. I'm sorry, Bailey. God bless you. That's it. That's all I can say. And God bless Simon, and God bless Road Dogg. I know you guys think I hate the guy. He just didn't belong as the head writer on SmackDown. He knew it. I knew it. A lot of people backstage knew it. Everybody knew it. I wasn't trying to get him fired. He fired himself, for Christ's sakes. He didn't even get fired. He said, I'm firing me. I'm not good at this. I don't want to take this crap anymore. This is nonsense. Nobody listens to me, and I'm just sitting in here, and people are laughing at me. I'm leaving, and I'm going to do fun things with Simon and Billy Gunn. And I hope to God that they actually do. I hope they do a couple of fun things. I think he deserves it. And I've seen Billy in AEW recently. Billy is amazing. And he is an old man. I don't know if it's TRT or what the hell he's doing, but whatever it is, keep doing it. I don't care what anyone says. It works. It's phenomenal. He still wrestles great. He's hilarious. He's entertaining. He's giant. He's the same size as Brock friggin' Lesnar. Like, he's just super duper entertaining, and Road Dogg deserves to have good things in his life, especially after the shit show that is WWE. God bless him. I think he got out at the exact right time from what I'm hearing, because it is absolute bedlam backstage right now. There's so much infighting, and the morale is in the dumps at WWE, and they've really got to change some things very quickly over there. He absolutely made the right move, and now he looks like a genius for getting out when he got out. So get out when the getting's good sometimes, folks. Doesn't matter how much you think it's the place to be. Look at Road Dogg in that interview. He is a genuinely happy individual. He likes his life. Was there anything that you took away from those guys, Simon, in that interview? I don't want to not give you a chance to speak on it, but
I mean, I barely did anything. They were in that kind of mode. I'll be honest with you. Like, I thought they were going to say no, just because I get it. They're trying to sell their wares. They don't need to do a 5-minute interview with me. So I was very appreciative that they did. But yeah, as soon as he started talking, you could just tell, you know. And also, I will not that I did. This came from a very genuine place, because I don't care about stuff like this. I think it's important to say the things that you mean. Road Dogg had actually replied to, when I got in the PWI last year, which is the most ridiculous thing ever. He'd replied to my tweet going, because I'd said, I don't care if it makes me a nerd. He went, damn right, be a nerd. So I reminded him of that tweet. So I think that just kind of broke the ice a bit. It's like, okay, well, this guy's going to be, you know, he's not going to try and pull any fast ones. We've had that tiny interaction. So I think that just put him in a good space, and he was genuine. I did nothing. I just moved a microphone around, and they just went off with each other. So they were great.
And it's, I mean, that's part of why it was such a joy to see it, because you didn't even have to do your normal thing. And you are a very entertaining guy. And as an interviewer, you bring out a lot of stuff from people. You didn't have to do shit. It was just like, these guys are back to being the new age outlaws, except they're the old age outlaws. It's amazing.
It was nice seeing the chemistry. You could see why they worked, right? They play off each other very, very well. So yeah, great guys. Really, really
good stuff. So you guys go check that out. Check out Under the Mat. Check us out. We're going to be back tomorrow with a little bit of a Dynamite recap with some of the other fellas that we're going to still probably record later tonight. But thank you guys for joining us as always. And remember, stay calm and stay in the mix.